if you all recall, where we left off last time, you had been asked by the Adventurers Guild of Neverwinter to go and help find a lost druid who had been dispatched to the town within the Rhombus Valley, who had been reporting a bit of an odd spring in that it never actually arrived. More of a missing spring, and that winter just simply did not end. Something that's rather unusual for this area of the world. And after a little bit of travel, making use of some useful and colorful and friendly cart driver, you were able to arrive at the Rhombus Valley and entered into the inn at the end of the road, named the End of the Road, INND. It's important to reinforce the name. At the end of the road, you met a couple of teenagers, you met the barkeep, and after asking if he would so kindly aid you further, he in fact even got the mayor. And in a conversation with the mayor, Percy Rodriguez, you learned a couple of pieces of information. You learned that, yes, the druid was here, in that he seems to be missing as well. That he had gone off towards the mountain several days before, and they had not heard from him. And that the mayor thinks that the continuous winter is a result of the Fall Harvest Festival having been ruined by the Targrim boy. So, yes, you also have a note from the mayor. Percy Rodriguez is the mayor of Rhombus Valley, yes. Let's see, if I recall, you all had decided that you would, at the last session, go and speak with the Targrim boys to figure out what was going on there. But of course you could change your mind. You had also had some concerns that even though you had a note that said that winter was unending, you decided to arrive wearing your Neverwinter best, which is to say, not cold weather clothing. And you need to borrow some cold weather clothes, which the mayor's happy to help acquire for you. But that's about where you are in this sort of situation. What would you all like to do?
Yeah, so just quick recap. The last thing we did, we asked the mayor to try and find us some clothes, and then we decided to go and try and talk to the Targrim boys in the meantime. Are we still going with that plan, or?
I don't see why not. Might as well.
Yep, I say let's go talk to Targrim while the mayor finds heavy duty winter gear. I mean,
You guys just lead the way, I'll follow you.
well, what do you reckon?
We definitely can't go up the mountain and inspect that yet. Not before we get like winter clothes and all that. That will easily be death up there. So yeah, I reckon our best lead for now is the Targrim boys. See where that takes us, I suppose.
All right. Do you want to walk that distance, or do you,
You said it was 18 houses away, didn't you?
Correct. 18 houses down on the right.
Yeah, I don't think that's like a massive distance. We might as well just walk.
Yeah,
It's 18 houses.
Yeah, it's not like it's 18 miles.
Yeah, that would be a bit worse.
The only one that
How big are these houses? How wide are these houses?
are they like fucking mansion sizes?
No, but they're on farms. There's gaps between them.
The only one
It's
that
not
might have a
like-
problem is our halfling.
Yeah, it's a little bit of
Yeah.
a distance, and the road is cold and muddy and snowy, and it's unpleasant. I'm just not offering. So.
Well, maybe we get the carriage to take us about 14 and then walk the last 4.
What would be the point? If he's taking us 14, we might as well go the 18.
Yeah,
Exactly.
let's just go 17 and a half.
Just so you can show up and look like you made the walk, so that it looks more important, maybe.
Yeah.
Jed, your
I don't
driver,
care.
doesn't look. He doesn't look like he wants to go anywhere either. He's like laying on the hearth,
Alright,
covered
I'm
in a
just gonna-
blanket.
I'm just gonna start walking. You guys can follow me. I don't fucking care. Like, I am not gonna get on a fucking something to take me 18 houses down when I can fully walk.
Yeah, I'm kind of with him on
Alright.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's just stroll it.
yeah, I'll head down as well.
Okay, you all head out bravely, facing the afternoon cold, marching down the muddy street, continuing on your way past one house, and then two, etc., until eventually, quite cold and wet and sticky from the mud, a familiar feeling, in front of your veins, you find yourself at what you think is the 18th house. You're pretty sure you were counting closely. You do see a
Gotcha.
sign that says Targram Farm, so that probably will help.
That's a slight indication that it's the right one.
I don't know, man. I don't know if this is. Can any of us read? Joking.
If there is a drive or any sort of road that leads to the house, it's covered in snow. You just can't really see it. As thin as the snow is, it is there, and there don't appear to
damn
be
it.
many tracks going from one to the other. Yeah, a
Can,
little bit
can
here
we
and there.
see the house or just a sign that says Targram Farm?
You can see the house. It's away from the road a bit, less than 100 yards, maybe 60 yards. But
Okay.
it,
We just
it
head
appears
that
that you
direction.
just have to just kind of walk. You don't know if it's a road that you're walking on or any sort of drive, or if it's just field. You know,
Man, at this point, like, I literally feel like we're back to square one with the fucking ice cream.
Yeah.
for all you know, you might be walking right over a lake. You know, because that's a pretty fair distance. That might be kind of scary because it's just snow.
It's a farm. It's a farm. Why would it have a giant fucking lake on it? At least
Yeah,
that's
some
my
do.
thought.
Some do.
Do.
Do they? I
Yeah.
don't know of any farm. I've never seen a farm with a lake on it.
Yeah, quite a lot
you've
around
not
where
seen
I
many
live.
farms.
Yeah, quite a
I was
lot.
gonna
have
say,
them.
I know there's some near it, but not through the farm. Like, unless if they built like a trench to make the water go into the
Yeah,
crops.
it's basically a trench.
Yes, but this might explain why the house is so far from the road too. Maybe
God
the lake is
damn
just
it.
here, and they have this property, and they didn't want to. They couldn't dry out the lake.
Oh, possibly. I was to look up at Vosmeg,
I mean-
be like, Vosmeg, up.
What?
I want up. Up on shoulders,
Why?
please.
God
See,
damn it.
if there's a lake here, you fall in first.
Yeah, and then you go with me.
Up, please.
I
I
mean,
don't
yeah,
walk
well-
anymore.
It's been
Fine.
cold ass winter for a long time, right? So this lake is possibly frozen and solid. I mean, I'm willing to take a bet we can walk across this.
If there is
whatever
a
it
lake,
is.
it's probably got a pretty good layer of ice.
Fine, you fucking fat halfling.
Have fat. I'm small,
Of course,
boy.
all the added weight of both humanoids combined on only 2 feet instead of 4.
If-
That might
I would say,
just
if
be
anything,
enough.
if anything, you'd probably be better not on his shoulders because you're the lightest person, which means you're the least likely to fall through.
Oh yeah, we would send you first.
How about I just throw you across?
Whee! Yeah, no, alright. Oh. I won't go on shoulders then.
All right.
Not for now.
Who's gonna bravely walk across the unknown first?
Bye
The
for now.
halfling.
I mean, I might as well because I feel like if something's gonna happen, you know, if it happens to me,
It's
of
gonna
all
happen
people,
regardless.
then yeah, it's gonna happen to everyone. Yeah, I'll start heading forwards.
Okay. You start heading forwards. Are you taking any caution at all? Are you know, poking the ground with a stick? Or are you going slow? Or are you just marching?
I probably occasionally like. How deep is the snow? Is it only like thin layer of snow, or is it quite deep?
Well, at the road itself, it's been piled up, pushed aside, and it looks to be only an inch or two. But as you get further in, you're starting to feel like this is 3 or 4, coming up to 5 inches. Seems like it's getting a little thicker as you go. I think that by the road, they're doing some effort to clean it, but here, it's been here for a long time.
Oh yeah, I'll use my cane. Occasionally tap around and see if anything changes at all. But I have a feeling it will just be solid like most of the way there. So.
As you feel along, it does feel solid every step of the way. Some bits get a little deeper than others. It gets up to about 8 or 10 inches in some areas. But as you pile through, eventually you're just walking on top, looking at your boot prints. You're walking on the snow itself. You don't know how deep it is below you, but it's supporting your weight to the point that you're just stepping on only a little bit of. You're only going a little deep in the snow, but when you feel with your cane, it goes much deeper. And you really push. But you don't seem to have any trouble. Everyone else want to go?
Yeah, I'll keep making my way up to the house. If anyone else falls through into some lake that's under there, well, I'm not gonna fall in anymore, so I'm good.
Yeah, I guess I'm following.
I was gonna
Fuck
say
it.
the only one here is fucking Shadow.
Let's go. I just let's spread out a little bit so we're not completely clumped up, and the rest of us should probably cross because otherwise we're gonna be here forever.
All right. How much do you
Or
weigh,
you-
Alucard?
How much do I weigh? Oh god, how do I find
Roughly.
that? Is it my own personal weight or character weight?
Character. I'm not gonna get like that.
I didn't. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't see.
Well, about how tall do you think you are?
Like 5'11".
So, there are tables to randomly generate height and weight based on race. So, what race are you, Alucard?
Just a human variant or a variant human, whatever you call it.
Human height, weight, chart, ID.
This is what you get when you play with scrubs.
Well, that's kind of a big part of this. Again, this is still part of the tutorial, amazingly as it is. So, humans. Let's see. So, would you like to randomly generate your height and weight?
I guess so. If there's not like a set start score of height and weight, then I guess so.
There's just sort of a suggested range. You can make your own, but the randomly generated, it would be 4'8" plus 2d10 inches. So go ahead and roll 2d10.
Where are the d10? There they are. Roll. That is a 15.
Okay. So you're 71 inches tall, so somewhere in the neighborhood of about 5'11". Make sense?
Yep. So now how do you get the
Alright.
weight from that?
Well, next, from that, then your weight will be 110 pounds times 2d4. Wait, that seems a bit much. Go ahead and roll 2d4.
4. That is 7.
Yeah, I don't think you're 710 pounds.
How we did it was you just go based off your equipment loadout if you can't figure it out.
Well, how would the equipment loadout tell you your weight?
Oh.
Yeah, you yourself a weightless? Question mark.
Actually, hold on. There's how. Hold on.
mean,
There's
three
a
nights
chart,
is
but
a
it says
feather.
times 2d4. Okay, I've done this before. I do display it. Let's see. So maybe it's 15 times 7 plus 110. So 215 pounds. Does that seem more reasonable?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure
I'm
what
gonna
pounds are,
adjust
so.
Okay, fair enough. So that would be somewhere in the neighborhood of a. No, that would be times 2.2. So somewhere in the neighborhood of about 473 kilos.
No, that's not right at all.
What did you say? 215 pounds?
Oh no, wait, that's right. It's divided by 2.2.
So if you said
'cause there's
250
2.2
pounds, that's
per
about
kilo,
15
so
stone.
it'd be about 97, 98 kilos.
That sounds more right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Sorry,
definitely sounds more right.
I did the translation wrong, so it's because there's 2.2 pounds per kilo, and I multiplied instead of divided. So, and I got no clue what that is in stone. So, yeah, I'm only barely in the metric system. Thank you, New Year's resolution. So, I think that's a little bit closer if you want to go that way. And if you want the translation of the height in meters. Now let's see, 71 inches and by 25.4. Okay, that's not right. It's not 2.7 meters.
This was always the hard part in D&D is
254.
calculating shit.
Okay, that's definitely not right. Hang on. 71 divided by point or times. No, not multiplied by 0, you dungus calculator. Okay, that's not okay. Never mind. I'm just gonna put the calculator away because he's not 18 meters tall. I forget how to do inches to meters. I'll look at that later. But anyway, about 200 pounds. Does that make sense?
I guess so. We'll just
You can
go
be
with
less
it
if you want.
because.
You can be whatever.
Well, I want this to be somewhat like accurate. Otherwise, it's just going to confuse me down the line. My character, I would have said, would be about 5'11" in height, and is kind of a slim build. He's not fat or overweight. He's like
Anorexic.
Maybe
So about 70 or 80
Somewhere-
kilos then? I'm not sure
Yeah,
what that is
70 or
in
80.
pounds.
yeah,
So
70 or 80
I'm about
kilos.
6
Oh,
foot and
better.
I'm about 70, so.
right. So 70 kilos, 2 pounds is 154 pounds roughly.
Yeah.
There we go.
So let's go with that and be done with it.
Okay. It's set in stones. So next, let's see, Vosmik and Piero, which one is going first or going next across the treacherous wilderness?
I don't know. I think I weigh more than every motherfucker here, so.
Do you want to go directly beside Piero then for comfort? Or-
Wait,
Fuck no.
how much do you weigh? Hold on.
I went based off of my character sheet I already rolled up. I rolled up. I was high class, so I was 6 foot, and I was 230
Oh, okay, 198. Okay, yeah, I'll go next.
because I was just bulky.
I'm
Very
one.
beefy boy.
Yeah, I'm 198 carrying 112, so that's about 300.
A fair
You're
bit.
112 pounds?
No, 198, but I'm carrying 112.
Yeah, you're carrying 112 pounds?
Well, do you
Uh,
have like the chest and all that put on there too?
Half blade 40, shield 6, or yeah, I'm not sure where the whole.
Because I noticed when you make a character with 5th edition, it automatically gives you a chest that's 25 pounds. And a
Oh,
crow, like stuff.
well, there's also the rations.
Yeah, rations weigh a lot for some reason.
Well, yeah.
The
I don't know
rations
what.
don't weigh a whole lot, but yeah, they do weigh some.
I've got
20
5 and
pounds.
that's 10 pounds, yeah.
Yeah, well, 2 pounds of food that's not a whole lot.
Well, again, I don't know pounds really, so.
Okay, it's less than a kilo of food.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm carrying the medium armor and the rations, which is about 10, so that's about 60 right there. Just seems to be adding up. Plus torches. The torches kind of weigh a small ton as well.
Okay, we'll look at that later. I don't think it should be carrying 110 pounds of stuff. What's your strength modifier? What's your strength? Even?
Plus 2.
Okay,
So,
but what's your full strength?
14.
14. So your carrying capacity is 210 pounds. So more than half of your carrying capacity is already gone.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
I'm not sure where the weight is really coming from.
I only have 98, and that's only because I have a great sword and full plate. Like, what the fuck?
and with full plate, he's only half. All right. Well, anyway. So, Yeah. So next up, Piero and Vosmik spreading out a little bit. Those hefty, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I'm gonna fall in. I'm calling it.
Yeah, and you're probably
Okay.
gonna me as well.
Do you just embrace it and just stomp across? You're like, I'm gonna
Fuck
go
no.
on my own terms.
I'm gonna take my time slow, like, and not stomp. I'm gonna try not to fall to fucking. Cause there's something in here. I don't want to fall.
Mm-hmm. As you make your way across, and you're very careful, you can feel as it transitions from the sort of softer snow to much harder, long-packed snow. And you can feel it kind of crunching below your weight as you slowly step across. You can feel it crushing and condensing under you. And you can feel it wants to give. It wants to give.
Fuck.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check. To try and very slowly and carefully control your movement.
16.
A 16 is pretty good. You're able to continue to walk, and you feel like you're just so close to breaking through what must be paper-thin layers of ice beneath you.
Fucking
And
knew
you
it.
can hear crunches every step of the way.
I just
And-
look back at Vosmik and be like, hey Vosmik, 5 silver if you jump right now. Go on, 5 silver.
Hey, Finny.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking dunk you in this bitch.
Yeah, no, if you don't make it over here. Come on.
Oh, I will. You fucking wait, you little shit.
10 silver.
Nope.
Fuck.
So, Piero,
Hmm?
you going across too? Careful, slow.
Yeah, slow.
All right. Dexterity check.
Ye- Oh, well,
Uh-oh.
Zero.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean
So-
0?
So
I
one.
made a 1, and I have -1 for dexterity.
Fucking zero.
Oh my
Watching-
god.
Watching everyone go very carefully, some of them a little bit more careful than others, as they go across, the crunching, just the little bit of sinking and everything. You just, alright, time to do this, and you just take a big, quick step. You figure faster's better than slower, and you can feel the layers of snow give beneath. And you sink up to your mid-thigh in snow. And it feels solid, but you're in like 2.5 feet of snow.
Oh fuck.
Fuck.
You can kind of like drag yourself out, maybe, in a little bit, but otherwise it's a really difficult walk, and it's so cold. Oh, it's so cold. You were not prepared for this. It's going like right up the pants leg.
Oh,
man, it's
Oh
cold.
no.
Is it touching the ball sack? Like, is it like to the point where his balls went up into his throat? How cold it is.
Well,
Have
it did not. There was not contact with snow, but
Oh,
there may be retraction. But yeah, you continue across, just kind of dragging yourself out. But every time you step, you just sink in a little bit lower, and you just crunch in. And in total, you're just walking through.
have I made it across? Yeah, am I in a safe location or?
Yeah, as you went through, it wasn't too much different from Finny. The snow, as you crunched in, never got more than about 6 inches deep. Vosmik, maybe 6 or 8 inches deep. Piero
how-
just sunk like almost waist deep.
How far is Piero from me, roughly?
Why? How far would you like him to be?
Well, I have a 50 feet rope with me, and I was thinking maybe I could try and launch
So do
one
I.
end of it to him, and then we can like hold it, and he can try and use that to pull himself out a bit quicker.
why don't?
You can. I mean, it's. He could just just walk through it, like just trudge through it. But yeah, you can try to throw your rope to try and aid in his walk.
Yeah, I think I'd like to try and help.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one that looks like he doesn't eat for a living. That looks like
Shut
he
up.
thrives
Forget-
off a piece of
Be
bread.
quiet.
You can even just walk out to him. Like it's easy. You
I'm
just
not
hand him the
going
rope.
out to him.
Yeah, I'm not going
Fair.
out.
If he's
either.
already sinking that much, I'll throw the rope to him.
All
Yes,
right.
yeah.
So, in terms of throwing the rope, this is one of those odd facts of the world. Rope is not very aerodynamic, and you can't really like throw it like a dart or a javelin, especially not 50 feet. How do you want to get the rope there?
Can't you like put one end of the rope on the floor and you put your foot on it, and then you roll the rope up into like a lasso, so it's like a big circular bulk, and then you like throw that bulk, so it's got a bit of weight to it as it gets thrown, and then it should unravel towards him.
All right, so you want to take the moment to get the rope in this configuration?
Yep, lasso shouldn't take too long. You just wrap it around your elbow and your
a lasso or in a bulk.
It's not.
A lasso is knotted.
It's not like a lasso. Literally, it's just like you hold the rope in one hand and then you wrap it under your elbow, over your hand, under your elbow, over your hand. So you basically roll it into a circle bundle.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a bundle. Yeah, you can certainly go that. So you take a moment. In fact, the rope is already bundled that way. That's a really good way of storing the rope. But of course, it's not very tight in terms of the density. It's basically just like a handful of rope that's neatly aligned in rings. You can certainly try to give it a hurl, but it might not go as far as if it were tightly wrapped, or if you had some other type of mass to help give it momentum.
I
mean,
I think I'll just
worst comes to worst, you just pull it all back and then redo it.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I've got one end under my foot, so I'm just gonna launch it, and if it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay. Let's see. Weight of a rope. I think it's 5 pounds or 10 pounds.
10.
Yeah. So yeah, the silk rope is 5 pounds, and the hemp rope is 10 pounds. Okay. So go ahead and make a strength check. As you
Oh God, I'm not good with strength, but we'll try this. Where's my strength? There it is. I rolled a 16.
A 16 is fairly distant. Fairly decent. So let me see here. Let me check the distance. Do we have a, let's see, dice rolls? I have not looked up how to. I think this works.
Waiting for it.
I could have rolled them myself by now.
Hence, we just use the D&D Beyond the dice thing.
4, 10, 13, 16, 17, 21, 22, 27. So I did it faster than the app did it, so that's terrible. I assume I did something wrong there. But yeah, it gets about halfway. And, lands in the snow.
I'll leave it there, and he can make his way towards it, and when he can reach it, he can use it to help himself out.
Good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like to make use of this rope when you get there? I mean, it's a fairly good distance. You've got to go pretty far to get there anyway.
Yeah, I'll probably use it once I get a little bit. Well, once I get closer.
All right. Would anyone else like to aid in tossing out a rope or doing anything else to help him walk through snow?
My fat also collapsed that, so I'm just gonna be like, all right, you guys got this. Unless you need to pull in, then other than that, like, I ain't going out there. My fat also collapsed this beneath all of us.
I'm a tiny little dude of 8 strength. That ain't happening.
That's why I was like, if we need to pull him in, I'm down. But like for now, he has to get to the rope. So.
I mean, I can. Actually, no. Actually, what we'll do, being somewhat careful walking back over the snow, I'll go out to where the end of it, dropped, and then just walk it the rest of the way if I can.
Sure. Yeah, you
want
can
to put
just walk
yourself in
out
that?
to him and just hand him the rope.
Yeah, and just be like, here you go. Now, wait for me to get back a bit before you do anything. I don't want to go under either.
Do you wait, or do you just continue?
Wait,
Pierre,
I'm waiting.
what are you doing?
I'll continue.
oh fuck.
Okay. So, as Finney turns to hustle back, you can just, it's an eruption of snow as Piero drags himself forward, using his arms and his legs to pull through this snow, as he just creates this new channel. If they didn't have a walkway before, they have one now. As you get much further, dividing this white expanse.
It's Moses of the snow.
And soon enough, you find yourself in shallower snow, and you're much closer to the house, and you all are able to continue towards the home if you like.
Man, you might want to start a fire or something. Get all that fucking. Let him warm up first.
Well,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
I'm sure
his
it'll be-
pants are white now.
I'm sure it'll be
Just
something
frozen.
inside the house. Maybe. I
Yeah, I'm
don't
not sure they're going to be happy with us starting a fire outside their door as
know.
well.
Yeah.
It's a farming village, man. Don't expect much.
Almost
Oh.
certainly they will have heat inside as well.
I don't know, man. Sometimes some people are too poor for heat. Especially-
Well,
Possibly. These are the
I'm gonna-
troublemakers.
I want to pack my rope away since I presume Piero is now over with us.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and wind it once again and return it to your pack.
All right, yeah. I'll just go. All right, let's get going.
Man, I love this.
As I
Fucking-
hear teeth chattering behind me.
fucking- I love this. 30 minutes in, we've gone down 18 houses and a driveway. Hell yeah.
We're making progress.
You're getting there, boys.
Here. How about we give a nice grand introduction of a knock? Finney, let me throw you at the door.
Fuck no. You can go for that. I'm just gonna try and dodge out of the way. Fuck that.
Let's just hurry up before
Yeah.
Piero literally turns into an ice block.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start walking towards the door if we're not already there.
All right. You walk towards the doorway. You're there. You walk towards it.
I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. There.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll knock on the door as loud as I can. Which probably
Giving a
isn't.
knock is as loud as you can. What's your strength modifier?
-1. I have 8 strength, so it's probably not loud.
Oh god, yours is like mine.
Yeah.
Dude, it's literally, so it sounds like a fucking mouse squealing.
It sounds like a raccoon scratching at the door. Some cold animal must be approaching. The Targrams, expecting a cheap and easy dinner, open the door and are surprised to find creatures that are not pathetic cats or something.
I'll look up and be
Oh.
like, hello, you must be the
Hurry.
Targram boys, right?
I'm Ozen Targram. You looking for my sons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I presume so.
What do you want with them?
I just wanted to
Only
come in and chat for a little bit.
I
You
peek
don't
around the
look
corner.
like friends of theirs.
I peek
Looking
around
at
the corner. Hey, can we come in and have our friend here warm up a bit, please?
The door is like slowly closing a little bit. What do y'all want?
The mayor. The mayor
yeah.
sent us over. We have some questions for your sons regarding an incident that occurred at the recent ritual event.
Uh-oh.
I told Perry I'd deal with it. What do you want to say to them?
Perry's sent us here to ask them some questions about it.
Well, Perry doesn't have anything to say about this. He doesn't have any say. Not his kids.
No, but
It
it is
is
fucking
his town, though. It
Yeah, I
is
was
his
thinking
town,
he's the mayor
however.
of the town.
It's not his town. It's our town. He's just a man.
Pretty sure the mayor runs a town, if I'm not mistaken.
He represents the town. You didn't take many sociology classes, did you?
Can I try to persuade him? And I
As
just
a
like to say,
representative of the proletariat.
so I'd like to try and persuade the guy, and I'd just like to say to him, look, sir, we're not here to cause any trouble. We simply just want to have a quick chat, ask them some questions, and then we'll be on our way, and you can go about your merry day.
Roll a persuasion check.
19.
Ooh.
I have a +5 in persuasion.
Letting out the heat. Hurry. And he moves aside.
I'm just
And
gonna
invite
scamper
you
in
in.
straight away.
I just get a little.
Oh, warm house in.
Yeah, I'll hurry up. I'll make sure Piero is like, not dragging himself on the floor because he's so cold, chattering.
Inside is a modest farmhouse. The windows are shuttered. There is a coal-bearing fire in the hearth. And as you get closer to it, it's much warmer, but the rest of the house, you can feel the cold and the wood and on the walls and the floors and ceilings. It's just, leaky and drabby. Certainly something that it would be okay, but this is a far cry from good construction. But inside you see a woman knitting a sweater out of some homespun. And,
It's Grammy.
well, she doesn't look old. She looks like she's in her 30s or 40s. But sure, you can be that way. But yeah, you see those. Then you see other doors that lead off, presumably into other rooms. And he says, "You can warm here. I'll get the boys." And he points at the fire. And he heads off towards another doorway.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over towards the fire and start warming up.
Yeah, I'll slowly drag Piero over towards the fire.
All right. As you get there, he opens the door and he yells, "All right, you sons of bitches, get your asses out here right now. What'd you do this time?" And they're like, "No, come on. We didn't do nothing. Wait, they're lying." And he, produces these teenagers, basically. And he kind of shoves one out. He says, "All right, talk to him." He slams the door. And he just stands there with crossed arms looking down at them. And they're looking a bit afraid at some of you. Not all of you, but some of you.
Yeah, be very hard to be afraid of a snowman.
We didn't do nothing. What are you accusing us of now, huh?
I'll just look at Alucard and be like, "Go right ahead, bud." You
The
got us in
the mayor of the town seems to think otherwise. I heard news that apparently some food was
What, Perry Stinky Pants thinks something weird? What, I don't care.
fucking.
It's not.
I keep my cool. I'm gonna keep my cool. That's right.
No smacking kids, all right? That's a no-no.
I'm small enough to be a kid. It's a fair fight.
can smack kids if I pick you up.
No, you just smack them with me.
But yeah, I'm just gonna sit down because they're probably scared of me and Piero.
You
Well-
would miss the chatter teeth over there. We heard recently apparently some food was stolen. Food in preparation for the festival which went on.
The festival was months ago. We didn't steal anything.
No, I mean, you might have not stolen anything, but you definitely disrupted it. Something that normally doesn't happen to these type of events, right?
Look, we were just there. It was an accident. We didn't do anything.
So you
What
did
was an
something, because
accident?
it
What
was an
was an
accident.
accident?
Yeah.
I
What exactly was an accident?
And what exactly was this accident, as you so call it?
Well, we were just standing around minding our own business, enjoying some of the lovely produce, and then a fire just started. Yeah, a fire just started.
Look,
And the
I get it.
dad smacks the back of one of the boys' heads.
look, I get it, you're teenagers, but seriously, come on, just tell the truth. This is getting annoying.
We are telling the truth.
So a fire just magically started out of nowhere, and you have no idea how it
Might
started.
have been. We live in a world of mysteries and magic. Yeah, maybe.
Can I
Okay.
roll an insight check on this?
So I was about to say
Yeah,
the
sure.
same
Go
thing.
ahead and roll an insight.
Yeah, I'm rolling insight on this.
It's gonna be like a 2.
Oof.
That is a
Oof.
19.
I got a 20.
They're clearly lying.
I go, look, I can clearly tell you're fucking lying. Just stop it already. And I start to stand up slowly.
Well, I mean, or I was gonna say, like, is it possible for one of us to roll maybe an intimidation check after, they find out it's pretty obvious they're lying?
Yes, of course. Intimidate the children. Go for it.
Already running intimidation. Ooh, 12. Mm.
Oh, like we care. Whatever.
I
we are
wanna
telling the
also-
truth. Prove it, huh?
I want to also roll an intimidation check, and with it, I want to say, you see this big guy? He looks scary, doesn't he? He looks really, really scary. Well, he's not the worst one in the group. You see the small, tiny, little gnome-like guy over there? That is
He
one
loves-
evil, evil dude. He literally cuts people open and eats their insides.
No,
I suggest you tell him.
with this, I'm gonna slightly unsheath the cane sword, just so there's a little bit of the sword poking out as well. Can I sort of add to
I
the...
suggest
Oh,
you
yeah.
tell him what happened before he gets upset, because he's not really good at holding his temperament.
He's really not. I butt out too. He's really not. As I
Alright,
look down at him.
I will accept a deception or an intimidation.
Ooh, let me have a look, see what my thingies are. Deception. Where is deception? I have a +3 on both, so let's just go for an intimidation, because that's what I was going for. So
Okay. Yeah, but you were lying, so it's the possibility of deception. But go on.
oh,
'Cause
so do you want me
does
to
not
roll
put
deception
people-
then?
Well, no, you can roll either one.
Okay.
You're lying with the intention of intimidating. So it's a combination of the both, but depending on which one you're best at, I'll give you the option.
Okay, they're both +3. I got a 15 on intimidation.
Okay. You can see a gulp from the younger boy. The older one just kind of shrugs, like, you're not going to kill us. Because of that?
Don't tempt me.
It was just a fire. It was just a stupid parade and things, and it happens. We didn't even mean to set it.
Aha.
We didn't even mean to set it. I go, man. See, I look at the father and go, see, I honestly, this is getting so annoying that I don't want anything to happen to you guys, but I'm about to go get, like, authorities. Oh, actually, we are the authorities.
Yeah, we are basically.
And I don't want anything to happen, so can you just make your kids tell the truth, or I'm gonna start throwing shit.
Now he starts looking at you, arms still crossed. Or else what? Why? What does it matter? They've been punished. I paid the damages. What does it matter?
Oh, you paid the damage? I was never told you paid the damages.
We're not after money
He
or
rolls
having...
his eyes. Once again, old Paragold leaving out the...
I'll
Why don't you-
mention, we're not looking to have a debts paid or anything like that. We're looking for information to hopefully fix the issue that is around this town. If you don't want to help us, try and fix this mess that has quite possibly happened because of you boys, doesn't really look good on you, does it?
Perry, always an empty head. Thinking that a little fire at a party caused all this?
Look,
That man's
We're
an
trying
idiot.
we're
all
trying to get
dead.
information at the moment.
There.
If you have other information that might help us, then feel free to tell us. We're going off of what we have at the moment.
He puts his hands on his son's shoulders and he says, if you think my boys somehow cursed this town, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Oh,
kids.
Hey, as
Where do we start?
as
They're
as
kids,
you're
they got... Hang on, he's talking. The
Sorry.
kids, oh no, it's fine. He's just going to keep yelling at me. Keep talking, but they're just kids. They got deep into the old corn and they just accidentally started a fire. It happens. We all done stupid stuff. This is beyond the wrath of teenagers.
However, you might be true, and yes, we've all been there. We've all been young kids and all that. I completely agree with that. As your boy said, it's a world full of crazy things.
Exactly. So what if your kids somehow found a way to adapt to using magic that you don't know about, that they're hiding from you?
It's not even that. It's a possibility that there's just some
We're
evil-
not.
There's some spirit or something that has been upset by what happened and could have been a whole domino effect here. Who knows?
So you're gonna kill us because of Perry? Because you think we're bad?
Oh, I didn't say kill. I was just gonna throw
Can I-
shit. Not at you
I was
guys.
gonna say, can I interject at this point and just say, look, no one's gonna kill you. I was just fucking with you because we want you to own up to what you did. You're not in any trouble from us. We're not here to hurt you. We just need to know what happened. What happened during the event? What caused the fire? Did you see anything? Anything suspicious? We just need to know what's going on so we can try to help your town.
Well, we were eating the corn mash, and we knocked over a lantern.
Now,
okay.
Now, hold on. Now, why didn't you try to stomp out the fire? The lantern's still time.
We did.
Hold on. This lantern,
The whole
did it have
thing
like
was
a...
covered in old vegetables and paper. It went up real quick.
And was there anything where this fire occurred that was
Yeah.
very important to this
like a
this
holy
festival?
symbol or something?
Anything at all?
Something that would represent a spirit of the wild or the woods or something like that.
Ozen says, there's nothing at that festival that's important to anything but us just having a good time.
Now, actually,
Clearly not.
Now, actually, what is this festival about, anyways? I mean, if the whole
Oh,
thing-
getting drunk and having a good meal.
America.
Oh, that's just literally just partying.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
does this
It's a
party have a
block
name?
party. The whole town gets together. It's a potluck. We bring booze. We get drunk. Perry's an idiot. He thinks that it's about worshiping nature and all this other crap. No, it's just
Wait.
about having fun.
I go, okay. After all this is done talking, I ask the father, can I have a private chat with you about Pero so you can tell me all about him and how much of an asshole he is and what you don't like about him?
Oh,
Like-
we don't need to do that in private. I'll tell you right now.
Well, I want to do it after like everything's situated here with these guys. After
Well,
we
frankly, I don't really care. Perry's an idiot. Period.
And
God damn.
Santa Claus is real. Why is he an idiot? We need details here. We're after.
Oh, you guys
You
done
ever-
talking about
Have you
the
spent
incident?
more than 3 minutes in a room with him?
Not really, because I wanted to throw shit.
The only reason he's the mayor is because he can't do much of anything else.
Well,
He's the only one that wants to be mayor. Some of us are farmers, some of us are craftsmen, some of us do other stuff. He just stands around thinking he's important.
Wait. Did you guys? No one voted for him to be mayor, right? He just all of a sudden one day I'm mayor.
People voted. But it's not because they wanted him to be mayor. We just need somebody to be mayor. And why not?
that's fair enough. I mean, hey, if nobody wants to be mayor, somebody's going to be by default be mayor.
The
Sure.
sash, the thing that says mayor on it, he got his mom to sew that for him decades ago.
Vinny tries to stifle a laugh, it just completely fails.
I go, huh. I kind of want to go back and question Perry now a little bit.
No reason to question him. He probably doesn't have any good answers.
He didn't give us anything useful to begin with, really.
Yeah, we spoke to him. I mean, what do you guys want to do at this point? Like, we're not really getting anything here. Nothing that's given us any information regarding
Well-
spirits, weather. So
I was gonna say you have to let Piero warm up because he's literally still a chatterbox.
Yeah. I mean, is there there must be something to this festival? There is like,
that's
Is
what
the-
I'm trying. That's what I was gonna go look at.
Yeah.
While you
I
were
mean,
warming up.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there has to be a name to this festival. It just I mean, it seemed like it held some importance, especially if you were with people
I
willing to
agree.
donate their food.
I
Oh,
agree with you, but I just don't think we're going to get anything from these guys because these guys clearly don't think that this festival's important. They just think it's a block party, just a chance to get pissed. So that leads me to believe that they're not going to have any relevant information that could lead us in any direction.
Ho- One question. Are you liked?
Oh, fuck. You go. I'm sorry, you go.
Are you liked in this town, sir? Like I asked the dad.
You see the woman finally look up from her knitting a moment and look at her husband. I don't give a damn.
I look over at the lady. There, yeah, we should start trying to question her.
Sorry, Aizen said
he-
I don't give a damn.
Oh,
Norma looked
yeah,
up
but
at her husband like this is a sensitive topic. This is the one thing she was just like, ooh, hang on.
oh,
Everything
oh.
else, she just didn't care. But Ozen's just like, I don't give a damn.
As I see, like, I see
People
her
in this
up
town
there-
are backwards and stupid and annoying, and I don't care if they like me or not.
I see her come out the corner of her eye. That sparks something in her, and that gives me reason to believe that not very liked,
Probably.
or something happened, and you might need to resolve it. I have a little buddy here that could probably get, if you give him gold, will probably solve it for you. As I look at Finny,
You know what? I'm done. Get the hell out of my house. He's pointing at the door.
Alright, yeah. I mean,
You've reached the limit of my hospitality. Get out.
You call this hospitality?
yeah, you call
You've
this
been, you've been
hospitality.
screaming at us for like 10 minutes straight and then not being
Am I
very...
gonna have to make you get out?
Sorry,
Yeah,
that's the moment I laugh.
As I start to unsheath my greatsword, yeah, make me get out.
okay.
Boss Meg, chill it down a bit. And way
He
bloodshed
goes-
here.
He goes over and picks up a big, heavy woodcutting axe and says,
Oh,
"Fine,
fuck
I
yeah.
will."
Oh, well. Alrighty. Alrighty.
I was just letting my friend, warm up a bit. I was-
I'm gonna try and get in the middle of them and just be like, alright. That is enough. We don't want any bloodshed here. I'll turn towards the father and be like, where did this happen? Where was the fire? Tell us that, we'll be gone.
Center
deal.
of town. Get the hell out.
Center of town, got it. Alright. That's about as much as we're gonna get, so...
Yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
So
I'll just go.
I'm gonna head out.
yeah, I'll
be
just put
like-
my sword back and go. Man, it sucks to not be liked as I'm walking out the door.
He's brutal.
Smick. I thought I was brutal.
The door is slammed behind you all.
Good.
Well, I mean, we basically now have a trail back. It just points up to where I was just trudging through.
Oh yeah. You got a clear path back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I played the 500 IQ.
So, having gone in and having the snow melt on you guys, you're now wet, and now you're going out into the cold again.
Oh, fuck.
And the wind is so harsh as your clothes begin to freeze on your bodies.
Oh,
It is so cold. It was warmer before. Having gone from warm to cold now, it's because before it was dry with dry snow and there was some insulation aspects. Now you're
Let's just
chilled.
go. Let's just go to the tavern, think shit over, and warm up.
All right. You all quickly make your way to the tavern. On your way back, around house 11 or so, you see a familiar face as Perigold Rodriguez, the mayor of this town, comes forward with a bundle of coats and blankets. My friends, I brought warm clothing. Here you are, You're gonna freeze. You're gonna freeze. And he's handing them out. Put them on. Quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna slip into that straight away.
Yep.
Whatever we've got.
All right.
Did he
It's
get- did he
certainly
get
a
some-
little bit better.
Do you get something small for me, or is it just like a fully grown thing still?
He's got what is almost certainly some youth clothing, some,
Yeah, fair enough.
some bundles
one
for
Baby's clothes.
the younger folks.
Little baby Finny.
It's in
The
a bright
baby
color
onesie.
so they don't get lost, you know.
Nah, I thought it was like a full-size cloak and all that, so it's just like draping ages behind me.
No. He can offer you one if you want, but no.
Nah,
there
no, but-
there are children in this town, and they sometimes go out in the cold. So, but yeah, you've got a fair amount of winter clothing that you can bundle up with, and heading back towards the end still.
I'm gonna.
Yep.
Okay. Getting back at the inn, the quarreling lovers seem to have made amends in some particular way. They're now just holding hands and sharing a bowl of soup in the most disgusting way possible. They're spoon feeding each other with different spoons, of course, but none of them is feeding themselves. It's one bowl, 2 spoons, and they're just feeding each other. It's just so disgusting and annoying.
Huh.
But
Coronavirus.
they're still there.
Fucking-
Well, this is in a different world. And disgusting
Yeah.
in the sense, like, it's just annoying
Oh nah.
teenager crap. Like, it's nobody eats soup like that. Like, that's not
Can-
love. That's not romantic. That's
Nah. That's
can
just
I-
disgrace.
Can I cast minor illusion to make it look like a severed hand is in the bowl?
so a severed hand just appears in the bowl.
Yeah, they're just spooning through it, and suddenly pops up from underneath the soup.
Sure.
That
What
isn't-
is your
I'm
spell
gonna go
save
sit.
DC?
What is my what?
Your spell save DC. So, when you cast certain spells, there's a resistance to them. Usually it is 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your spell skill modifier. So, what do you cast with? What's skill? Usually intelligence or charisma or sometimes wisdom.
Perception, I'd say, if anything.
Well, no, perception is not involved in casting spells.
Oh, I don't know then. That is weird.
Well, no, spells are either intelligence or wisdom or charisma. What class are you when you're casting the spell?
I'm a sorcerer.
Okay, so that would be your charisma. So what's your charisma modifier?
The modifier is the plus number. Yep.
Yes.
It's a +3.
Okay, +3 plus your proficiency modifier, which at your level is probably 2. So that's +5. So 8 plus the 5 gets it to 14. Or rather 13, excuse me. So that means to resist your spell, someone would need to roll above a 13. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of.
The
You're probably
hand-
gonna have to go over this again at some point.
I'm sure I will. The hand appears, and immediately the girl screams, "Ah!" Freaking out because a hand appeared in the soup. And then the boy goes, "No, it's not real. It's okay. It's weird. Did one of you guys do this? Like, why? Can't you just
I'm
mind
just
your own
gonna
business?"
I'm just gonna say it wasn't me, and walk off away.
Alright.
I already sat down at the table before you did that.
But yeah, you can warm up a little bit. You can see that your driver is sitting upright, and he seems to be enjoying a bowl of the same soup or stew or some sort of combination of liquid and chunks. What would you all like to do?
Well, I came here to warm up and to make a game, so we can all sit at the table, make a game plan of what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I guess I'll gather at the table with Cosmic.
Yeah.
And the mayor followed with us into the tavern, right? Or did he just?
Yes, he did.
All right.
And he makes a seat for himself. It's a table for 4, and he drags a chair over, scratching the floor just a little bit,
Can you just
And-
pick that
he's
up,
part of the
please?
and forces his way into a corner on the table and is tapping the table. So what did we learn? What are we doing? He's rocking back and forth. He seems excited to be on the team.
I reckon we'll relay what information that we were given about like what started the fire and the fact that Targon boys and their dad weren't really open to giving much information. They seem pretty defensive on the whole matter. See what his thoughts are from that, I suppose.
I go.
Yeah, Ozen's always been a bit of a jerk. Really, nobody likes him.
Yeah, I almost killed that man.
Mean. Well, maybe you should have. Maybe the whole thing would be
Wow.
I don't know about the old lady. She was minding her business. She was acting chill until I asked if they were well liked, and then she gave a weird look of a touchy subject, and then I was just like, huh.
Well, that's fair. Norma's a sweet woman, but she married a jerk, and her kids are jerks, and if they're the problem, then I give you permission to kill them. And he nods.
Duly noted.
Noted.
I'll also ask, in this place that burnt down, do you know of anything that would have been, say, important to this festival that happened? Anything that was damaged or destroyed?
It was all important. They took down the entire. They took down a large portion of the celebration tent. They took down multiple floats of the parade burn.
Look,
It was
no.
all important.
Look, we're talking about holy symbols to a deity or symbols to some god. That's what we mean. Was there a place to worship said god for weather, or something that upset a god of winter or ice, like something like that? Not everything like floats.
I don't really know. I guess I don't know what all the floats even were. Really, it was before the parade. I like the surprise. I try not to peek. I don't know what the floats were.
Is there someone in this town that might have an idea of what was in there? Or what was damaged?
You would, if you wanted to know what all the floats were, you would have to talk to all of the people that made the floats. Some of them are no longer in town.
Can I interject real quick? This isn't like I'm not speaking or doing anything. I'm just updating Vosmic. When we spoke to him earlier, he told us that this town doesn't. The ritual doesn't. It isn't to worship any particular deity or god. It's just they just worship in general for anyone that's sort of listening. They don't have a particular god or anything like that they worship to here.
Well,
so just I'm just giving you an update to what we heard earlier. Really.
I'm just trying to.
Just to interject, from the descriptions of this festival, this ceremony, this parade, from everything that you've learned, assuming that most of these people are telling the truth, it seems like different farms decorate their carts to celebrate something. They put some of their produce in it, everything like that. And then they have a parade down the street. And then there's a big meal. And everyone gets drunk and dances and has fun, and then they go home. And then this particular year, where all the carts were, there's apparently a tent or something that they come out of. The Targrim boys were eating some old canned corn and kicked over or somehow knocked over a lantern. And that caught one of the floats on fire, which caught another float on fire, which caught part of the tent on fire.
That's why I'm asking, because if you do something for so long to worship anyone that will listen, eventually someone's going to listen. Eventually. That's why I'm asking around, because they've been doing it for how long? Years?
Time immeasurable.
Yeah, so
a very long time.
From this winter chill going on, one of the deities or gods listened to them and was enjoying when they have the festival, because that was their way of worshiping that person.
Oh, Asmodeus heard.
Yeah, like someone that is able to control weather, or the god of winter, goddess of winter. I don't know how DM does it.
Another thing to note then is that when Piero did his sort of, I can't remember, it was like a history check or a religion check. He remembered that he couldn't think of any god in particular that was related to weather that could have this sort of, that could cause this sort of effect, an ongoing winter that doesn't end. And the same when I did an Arcana check, it came to light that basically I through my knowledge of magic, I did not know of anyone who could have enough power to be able to cause an effect in weather like this. It would have to be someone of immeasurable strength. I'm just once again, I'm just letting you know what we've learned.
And this is isn't it? This is a homebrew variation, right? Like you're making it up a bit on the fly.
Actually,
Yonder?
this one isn't homebrew. This one's straight up rules as written.
Okay. Well, it's like you guys still remember too, Shadow. DMs can throw their own plot twists too.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. As I said,
And
I'm
I
just
do.
trying to fill you in on information. So
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to figure based off of actual knowledge of rules of engagement, like spells and all that, while trying to also have a condescension of he might be throwing in his own deity or god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we
That's
have
what
no
I'm
idea,
trying-
so...
Yeah, but
it's a fair point.
and-
But based on those checks that we did, we don't have that knowledge at that moment.
Yeah,
exactly. Your
This is
characters, of
outside.
course, while I certainly do have my own sort of settings, this actually is taking place in rules as written. This is a canonical
Okay.
world. Everything that's in the books would apply here. All the spells are the same. The deities are the same. But
Okay.
even if I do make changes to the world, which I sometimes will, those changes that I make, your characters being living in them, you would be
Well,
you would have the chance to be aware. Your characters would have a chance to be aware of those deities, even if there's no possible way that you as players would have the knowledge because I just made it up.
yeah, that's what I'm,
So,
and that's
but-
I'm not. This is outside the game, like me explaining. That's what I'm trying to like that's what I'm brainstorming.
Mhm.
Because my character doesn't. My character, I wasn't here, so my character was probably off wandering off in the village somewhere, tavern, waiting for everyone.
I think
Because I wasn't
No,
here last time.
it was.
No,
wait,
he was there the whole time. We kept representing.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I wasn't physically here, so I didn't know like the arcana and all that. I watched the video, but it was spotty because I was at work. Like I had it blaring
Fine.
at work.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Fair enough.
But
But-
yeah, if you want, you
yeah.
could make another religion check or something now that you know more about the festival and more
Yeah, I'll-
information of it to see if it lines up with any kind of rituals that anyone is aware of.
Can I do a religion?
Sure.
13.
Okay. Yeah, no. This doesn't sound very religious. Typically, the powers, the gods, they get their powers usually from, well, to be honest, in many ways, sacrifices come a lot
Yeah.
into it, depending on the deities or getting people to worship them so that when they die, they'll lend their essence to the god. You know, that's sort of the kind of the deal of it. While it's entirely possible that some power simply enjoyed watching the show, even without actually being worshipped, it would be strange if they would decide, well, because it didn't happen once, I'm just going to destroy the town. And even more, it's unlikely that any god was getting anything out of this except perhaps mild enjoyment. It seems
Yeah.
odd that a simple little parade in a tiny town, and like it's hard to imagine that this is so exuberant. So this is truly not a great festival. There's not that many people there. Even. It just seems like it's just it probably started as a kind of response to, a bit of a hokey religion. It probably started as a way of fending off a lot of spirits. Perry seems to still think that it's in that realm, but a lot of that, it was the very basics of it was probably superstitious in nature. But it doesn't seem that
Okay.
there's much of any relation to any particular god still. Without knowing what was in the floats, it's
Yeah.
tough to tell for sure whether or not some worshipped one god or another. But you don't know of any god that would decide, oh, well, my float burned, I guess I'll just destroy the entire town. Like, that's
Well-
never been observed or written in that sort of an extreme wrathful response.
All right.
And
That was just
Winter
a
in
basic
particular.
concept of what I
Yeah.
had, if it was. But
I hear you.
At the
No,
same
it's a
time-
good concept, and that's the kind of crap that I do pull in other times, but not in this case. The
Okay.
endless winter, it seems that it's something that is incredibly powerful magic. Frequently, when because powers being outside of the material plane, they don't have any way, most of the time, to actually affect the material plane. they need to channel through a person, be it a warlock, and
Wait,
in
hello?
giving their powers through a patron, or from a patron, or from the cleric or paladin. Clerics and paladins are warlocks, but with different bosses. That sort of thing. So, indeed. Welcome back. So, if it is a higher power, if it is one of these greats, even if it is a god, then there must be someone on the material plane, some anchor point for the power to go through, because they don't have a way to touch anything. They can only tell people to touch things. Is that making kind of any
Plot
sense?
twist, it's the mayor all along.
No. I was gonna say there's a certain druid out here that we're looking for.
Yeah, you are looking for a druid as well, and
They
the
were
druid is.
they were sent out here to try and investigate this, though, weren't they?
They were, yeah, because and you're not even sure why. You remember in speaking with Edgar, as you really think about it, that he said that this druid is one of the top adventurers of the guild. The reward from Perry is only 30 gold. It seems, or about 30 gold, if I recall the note correctly. It seems
35.
very strange that a 35, you said?
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's only 35 gold. It seems strange that a high-level adventurer that could be bringing in 1,000 gold plus a job would show up to this tiny little town for 35 gold. It doesn't make any... Heck, the travel was, a good portion of that. A fifth of the cost of getting here was 35 gold. It doesn't make any sense of why this druid would even come here. It's strange. It's puzzling. You think maybe
Rosemary's gone.
his
the
internet
druid...
died out, he's resetting up.
Okay. Maybe because the druid is, certainly was or is immensely powerful and certainly knowledgeable about nature and things. Maybe he knew something you guys didn't.
Oh, we've definitely still got the lead on the mountain. We've not even bothered to go there yet. So I reckon our next best bet for now would probably be investigating the mountain and see the last known location of said druid, I reckon.
Yeah. You do remember
I'm
that
kind of with that.
where Perry had mentioned that this time of year the mountain would basically be crawling with teenagers going up there just having fun, doing what teenagers do, as they say. But of course now it's all snowy, so it doesn't at all. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of what you kind of have those directions. That information is in front of you.
I guess I'm with Finny about checking the mountain next, because and you guys disagree with me if you think I'm wrong, but I don't think we're gonna get anything from this town. There's not really a lot of people to talk to. The ones we have, they've given us information, but we haven't learned anything at all pertinent to the investigation itself. And I don't think we will until we start heading towards the source of the problem, I guess, which we've kind of concluded is possibly the mountain.
Okay.
I definitely agree. Mountain is definitely the best bet for now.
Okay, before we go up, this mountain is very snowy, right? Like,
Very.
Okay.
Treacherously so.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go, but we got to be very cautious because there's things that tend to live in very snowy areas that they can't stand in warm. and one of those is a frost giant.
I mean, something tells me a party of level 1 people aren't going to come up against Frost Giant, but, I never know.
You don't know the DM yet.
Yeah, fair point.
Well,
Fair point.
frost giants are also...
Zombie Beholder.
Neutral?
Hell yeah.
Frost giants are normally lawful. Normally. But, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon we've got as much as we can possibly get out of the town and the people around it, so.
Also, too, while there are certainly frost giants in the spine of the world well to the north, you guys already traveled north of this town. This is just a pocket of cold that surrounds just miles around. Even then, frost giants, the ability, through the Arcana check, you guys know that the ability to change the weather is tremendously
Oh.
powerful magic.
No, I'm not
it's
saying
essentially
that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been here prior to this weather. So
Yeah, I'm just saying some may have moved in after the weather came. That's what
yeah.
Yeah, the odds would be strange, but it's possible. Yeah.
But
Okay, do we need to get anything before we go? We got warmish clothing from the mayor now. Do we need any supplies or anything?
should probably bring wood and fire and so if we need to make a fire in like a cave system.
I think most of us have tinder boxes, rations in case, mess kits, stuff like that. I think most of us are carrying that sort of shit at the moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We should try and bring some wood or something up there in case we need like a fire or something. Also, what's the time of day looking at the moment? Is it starting to get later into the afternoon, or?
Yeah, it's coming into the evening. Yeah.
We probably also should do it in nighttime, I feel.
So maybe rest
It's
overnight
going to
and
only
then
get
get out in the
colder.
morning.
Yeah. It's only
Yeah.
going to get colder, so. So I say yeah, I say resting would probably be the best bet for now. Head out in the morning when, it might, or at the very least, it might not be warmer, but it will be brighter at least. We can see what's going on.
Perry says, "That's fantastic, of course, definitely. First light, for sure. Until then, your rooms and meals are on the town. You hear that, Yorit? They're on the town." He knocks the table, and Yorit says, "Oh, you're actually going to pay me then? There's a food shortage, And, Yorit comes over looking down at the mayor, and the mayor says, "Put it on the town's tab." And Yorit just rolls his eyes.
I look at Yort and go, "No, don't." And I give him a gold piece. I'm buying my own for food, and I don't know how much the bedroom is, so.
He picks it up and he says, "Ah, now that is something I appreciate, of course." And he comes back with a big plate of, or rather, more of a kind of a dish. I'm trying to describe it. The big tray. Yes, a tray. Good gravy. The brain was completely lost there. He comes back with a tray, and on the tray is a loaf of warm but not fresh bread and a couple of bowls of the stew. 4, lad. Not 1 for Perry. And he sets it down. It's a thin liquid. It's got mostly vegetables. There's a couple of small chunks of, and I say chunks, more like bits of something of a meat. But overall, this is certainly lacking in many ways. I mean, it seems like it was built as a stew, but stews are it focuses more on the vegetables, and there's barely any meat. It's a bit strange in terms of a stew.
Is it seasoned?
Fairly. I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. Let me get to that. It's not bad. It's just lacking. It's like it's a beef stew, but someone forgot to add the beef.
Nice.
It doesn't taste right. Like it's got the kind of flavor like it's supposed to be a beef stew. It's got some rutabaga. It's got a little bit of something that might be potato, and it's got some various other things added. Yeah, it's got kind of the right color, although it's fairly watered down, but it's just got barely any meat in it at all.
Well, this might be the best thing we eat for a while, even though it's not that great. So I'm just gonna tuck the hell in.
Yeah, same.
It's something.
I'll even
It's
pull out
warm,
like
too.
salt, pepper, and I'll even pull out more seasoning for everyone. Be like, "Yeah, here you go. If you want some more."
You just
I always
carry
carry-
salt and pepper on you?
Fuck
Harry-
yeah!
Perry tears off about a quarter of the loaf of bread to himself and sprinkles it with salt. And says, "Thank you," and he just starts munching in.
Hey man, you never know when you're out adventuring and you find a random deer and you have to kill it and you have no season of salt, pepper, or anything.
I'm with you, man. Yeah, mess kit fully equipped with 6 different seasonings. All good, no problems. So you all just want to take what rooms are available and have yourselves a long rest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So.
Are there any other questions or anything else you want to take care of before the evening is arrives and goes?
I mean, there's always the place the fire occurred. Which
Yeah, I was gonna go check that out.
might hold some information, but it could just be burnt down floats in a tent and stuff like that. It could just be nothing as well.
I still want to do investigation just in case,
I mean, if we've
In
got
case-
if we've got enough time to, yeah, I say we go out and
Yeah.
check that before the night ends.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
go out and investigate.
Yeah, Perry can take you. He'll happily go with you.
I'm gonna stay at the inn if I can. I'm just gonna go to bed and rest.
Sure. So this long road that you rode in on, the road that the Targrim farm is on, and most of the others at least as well, it comes in and basically just kind of a straight line going from east to west off of the road that you came through before. And it terminates at the inn. And behind the inn is some distance is the mountain. So from this, it sort of T-bones at the inn into another road that goes north and south. The south end continues until it gets to basically it's kind of like a school. It's just a kind of a common building that is kind of like a school plus a community center plus a library plus whatever. It's just a building with books and tables and etc. Anyway, so south goes to this community building, and north continues until it gets to a river that also runs sort of east to west a little bit, and he takes you all the way north to about where the river is, and he says, "Oh, here, this is where we set up the tent, and it was gonna, start here and head south, and then feast was gonna be in the community building, all the way to the south."
I'm gonna just look around, see if I can notice anything.
You see the banks of the river. You see that it seems to be at least having a crust of frozen crust. You see some movement in the middle as a little bit of the water goes, but the edges are certainly frozen and they're snowed over. And you see, of course, a snow or the snowy base of a mountain covered in clouds just a little bit above, and around you see empty, snowy plains.
Where exactly was the fire at? I asked.
He puts out his arms and does a bit of a circle. About here.
So it's all been covered by snow by this point.
Yeah.
Well, we took down the tent and, repaired the carts that we could. Everything else was burned. We threw it away.
So not really much then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Unless
No,
we go
again,
dig
this
through
happened-
trash.
This happened like 6 or 8 months ago. So
Oh.
Yeah,
it's unlikely that they would have this thing still there. Like this basically occurred around, if you translate the dates into the way we would describe it, this festival occurred somewhere in the neighborhood of like October to November, and it's closer to like May right now.
All right. Well,
Right.
I guess it was worth a look in case there was a clue here, but there clearly isn't because everything's been taken away. Yeah, let's just go back and sleep for the night. There, Finny. Look like a small child of mine with a beard.
All right.
Yeah,
Having
so bad.
found nothing of use, you go back. Do you continue to require the services of Perry, who is quite clingy, or do you dismiss him?
That's all you, Finny. I don't really give a fuck.
I'd say we've run out of leads to chase down at the moment, other than the mountain itself. So I reckon I'm probably just gonna call it night for there, and then head up to the mountain in the morning. I
Do we-
reckon.
But do we still need Perry?
I mean, he's given us all the information we have, really. Like, he's not gonna give us much more.
All right, Perry, go home and go to bed.
Okay. I will meet you in the morning. Bye. Don't get lost. It's that way. It's on the right down the road.
Right down the road.
He waves, and then he realizes he has to go the same direction as you for a little bit. He's really awkwardly walking like 30 feet behind you silently, just for a little while, and then eventually he gets to his house and goes.
Okay, Vinny,
Yeah.
something's not right with that guy. We gotta watch him very carefully because I'm getting an odd suspicion that he's trying to lead us astray.
He's not really giving us any information to lead us astray as such. He's not really giving us much
No,
information,
but
no one seems to be giving us much information.
But then again, he could also be luring us into something or to our inevitable death. Like, you don't know about these people out here in this fucking random ass countrysides.
These fucking colty farmers, them damn cretins.
Yeah, the Bermuda Mountain.
I'm definitely 100% on, like, you know, we've run out of potential leads other than the mountain. We might as well check it out and then see what comes from that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
We just gotta just keep an eye. We just gotta keep a close eye on him.
I mean, it's gonna be a bit hard because I'm highly certain he's not gonna come up the mountain with us. Something tells me he's not going to. I could be wrong, but
Well, he said see you tomorrow morning, so
naturally,
he's probably gonna try.
Yeah, we're not taking his ass up the mountain with us. He'll slow us down.
Well, so will Finny, but
Nah, I'll just cling onto your leg and you just walk normally. I'll just swing along on your leg.
By the time
yeah.
you two get back, the two teenagers that had been going through a roller coaster of a relationship all afternoon have left, and it is just you four and your driver Jed and Yorit, the innkeeper, in the building. And Yorit asks if there are any accommodations that you will need, anything special. He looks at Finny a little bit and then asks, is there any requests for breakfast, perhaps?
not.
Not really.
I
I mean, the town
just-
the town already doesn't have a lot, so I'm happy with whatever.
Yeah.
I'm happy with
So
whatever.
am I.
I'm not gonna be picky on it.
And actually, I. Oh no! Did I thought I. Wait, hold on. Let me look at my. No, I was gonna say because I thought I had a sack of like potatoes that I brought with us from the last city, but I didn't put it down.
As long as I don't have to sleep with Vosmik, he snores.
No, I don't. I really don't, though.
That's what you think.
No. Elves don't sleep. Technically, they do revelry. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, they meditate.
Fair
Yeah,
point.
they meditate for 4 hours. That's
Fair
it.
point, I forgot you're an elf. Alucard snores, I don't want to be with him.
Well, when you look like him, of course you're gonna snore. Fucking
yeah,
piece of bread's about as big as him.
If I'm not given a specific room, I'm just gonna try and find a room and then just call it night.
If anything, he can just sleep in my room. Because I won't even.
To bed, so he's already in his room, which means if you weren't in that room, that door's probably locked and you ain't getting in.
Okay. Well, it's not like there's. I literally don't need a bed.
I mean, I have proficiency in thieves' tools. I can probably lockpick the door and get in, but
You can just, if you don't need a bed, you could just trance in the sort of dining area if you
Yeah,
want.
I'll ask her to do that if they'll let me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're the guest. You can just do that.
Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll just be like, yeah, I won't need a bed, and I'll just trance in the dining room.
yeah. If I'm not given a specific room, I'll just find a free one. I'm presuming most of them will be free. I don't think many people will be staying here.
Yes, there are 5 rooms, and they have keys actually in the locks themselves, so you can just unlock the door and then hold on to the key when you go in.
Yeah, I would just pick.
He doesn't seem to be having any guests.
I
you're
would
here,
imagine not,
so-
yeah. Well, yeah, I'll just pick a room and call it for the night.
All right. Now you all have yourselves a bit of a rest, but Vosmek, who is meditating in the front room, you see as the world outside gets darker and darker, the fire dies. It gets a little chilly, but it's not so bad. And it becomes so incredibly dark. But, aware of your surroundings, you hear scurrying, maybe light footsteps.
I was gonna say,
Have you ever heard? Well, have you ever heard like raccoons on a porch?
yes,
It
I
sounds like
literally-
that.
where at?
Right out front, right outside of the tavern. It sounds like some sort of small beast, maybe
I was
two,
gonna say-
moving around.
I was gonna say I do have dark vision. I don't know. Is that what replaced infravision? Dark vision.
Sort of. I'm not entirely sure how infravision worked. I'm not familiar with the previous generation.
Infravision just gave off like you could see a heat signature and like
So, the way this works with dark vision, if it is dark, then you can see as if it is dim light, which is already difficult to see in. But if it's dim light, you can see relatively like normal. So let me
Okay.
actually, there's a convenient info picture to give you an idea. Let me see if I can find it.
well I can't see any, so I'm pretty much just blind at this point. Or can
Okay.
I see?
So, here we are.
You see
I'm gonna
Finny just scampering around,
copy
midnight
this
snack.
and this is something of an idea. So some
Oh,
people
okay.
think dark vision lets you see in the dark, but in reality, it just makes it just a little bit brighter. It's still sort of in black and white, but it's not super clear. It doesn't give you perfect clarity. And in fact, if
No.
you're in darkness, even with dark vision, you're still at disadvantage to see
Yeah.
something. The difference is that you can actually see it, where if you don't have dark vision, you can't even make an attempt to see it because it's so dark.
Yeah, can I attempt to see it?
Well, the windows have been shuttered. You can't really. You can see a little bit. You can see as the light changed and then turned to darkness, and then you took your trance. But to actually see it, you would have to maybe open the door or open the shutters. You'd have to get up and look.
I'm not very sneaky. I'm gonna just go over to the window and creak it open a little bit to see if I can see whatever's out there. Because I know it's some sort of creature that's really small. Could be Finny fucking with me.
Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just looking for a midnight
But
snack.
I'm still gonna like inspect in case like you never know. It could be a small child or something. I'm still gonna inspect.
Okay. So do you want to like creep over carefully then?
Yeah.
Make a stealth check, please.
17.
Okay.
So I was only
That's not
'Cause-
bad. Yeah. You get up and you creak over to the door, and you can hear them stop as you take a step or two. They may have heard you. Do you want
Okay.
to continue?
As soon as I hear them,
They were like moving around actively, and then as soon as you started to move, they stopped.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna wait till I hear them moving again, and then I'm gonna move once, and then do it and like wait for them. So it sounds make it sound like I'm rolling around. Like if I was like sleeping on the floor, I'd roll like I roll.
You wait some time. It's entirely silent. Only thing you can hear is the slight exhale of your breath and some distant snoring coming from Alucard's room.
Canon now.
You take another careful step forward. Make another stealth check.
All right. 13.
As you take another step forward, another, and another, you get... Are you going towards the window or towards the door?
Yeah, window.
Okay, you get to the window. The shutters are closed. There's no latch, or rather there is a latch, but it's not latched because he doesn't think anyone's going to be breaking in, which is fair.
Yeah.
Do you want to lift the shutter, or do you want to essentially, like, you know, that has these louvers, it has grates to be able to change the amount of light coming through. Do you want to lift the louvers and open those, or do you want to open the entire cover of the window, the shutters, to be able to look through the whole thing and look out?
Did I make an estimate of where they were coming from the area?
It's tough to tell exactly. You just sort of, you're hearing something coming through the wall, and because there are possibly multiple sources, they're just coming from somewhere.
Okay, I'm just gonna open the bar that allows light in or out.
Okay. You carefully open the louvers. Make a sleight of hand check. This is taking place of the
11.
dexterity.
Yeah, I have a +3 to it.
Okay. As you begin to open the louvers, you see shapes. Shapes moving in the snow. Shapes barely discernible from one to the other. It is so incredibly dark out, with the cloud cover and the darkness and the depth of night. Make a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay, now disadvantage.
You roll twice, and you take the lowest number.
Okay. 10 and a 13, so 10.
Okay. With a 10, you can see small shapes. There seems to be a couple of them. They're moving down the street, and they seem to be kind of going back and forth. It's almost like they're gathering. Maybe it's tough to tell. They just seem to be coming together. And there's soft clicks. There seems to be almost like a communication. They seem to be mostly bipedal, although some are walking on all fours and transitioning from one to the other. They're very small, maybe 2 feet tall, and they seem to be in a dark clothing.
People have gone missing, right? Besides the druid.
Possibly. People have left town.
Yeah, left town.
Maybe some have gone missing. Maybe the townspeople just assumed they were some of those that moved away.
Looking at it, is it like does it look like they're humanoid figures? Or smaller than humanoid, like goblin-sized figures, like smaller than that?
In the realm of goblin-esque in terms of size, but
okay.
In proportion-wise, they're much more to like large creatures, large small creatures. They're really small. Imagine something in the proportion of like almost, again, I keep going back to it, almost akin to like a large raccoon, but sometimes on all sometimes on all fours. Sometimes bipedal. They seem to be bringing things together into, it looks almost like a sack.
So it looks like a really beefy goblin. A really beefy gnome that's mistaken as a dwarf.
Well, not even beefy. And again, they're very small. Maybe.
Well, that's just the figure that I'm getting like in my head, like imagining.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna not draw too much attention. I'm gonna continue watching, but not so they can see me that well. So if they can't see me, like I'm just gonna keep an eye or two on them, but hide myself a little bit. But still have my eyes on them, see what they do.
Okay. They seem to be coming together to get whatever it is that they're getting. And then two of them drag off the sack. And they seem
Is there any
fine.
muffled screaming or anything?
Nope. There's no noise except the steps of their feet in snow.
Okay.
And sometimes
Did they-
hands.
They brought
And
the
occasionally
sack.
click,
Where did they
like-
bring out the sack from?
When you came in, it was a shape already sort of in the middle of the road.
Okay. When they scurry off, I'm gonna go outside and see if I can follow the trail.
Okay. Are you
Of
trying to
where-
be
Where they
still
went, like,
quiet, or
well,
you
did
know,
they
still
scurry off?
pursuing it? Yeah, they seem to be gone. You can't see them or hear them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna still be stealthy, but still slowly, like, not follow their path, but follow where they drug that sack from.
Okay. Yeah, you head outside, and it's very cold.
Yeah.
Extremely cold. Like 0 degrees. You know, it is, or -9 Celsius for the other people. Or
Yeah.
approximately negative. It's very cold. And you head out, and of course you can clearly see the indent in the snow and the path of the dragging, and you're able to follow it quite easily as it goes north on this sort of T-bone smaller road.
Is there the? That's the way they went.
That's the
Or
way
the-
they
the-
went. They went north.
I'm gonna go back the way where they came. Like, I'm gonna follow the trail the opposite way, not where they came from, but where they drug the sack from.
They seem to have been dragging the sack towards.
From
I mean, you don't see any other track of the sack. The sack was dragged north.
like I didn't see like where they would have put it down. So they put something down in the city and drug it north.
You see at the very beginning, in the center of town, right in front of the inn, you see an indent of where the sack was, and you see drag marks of the sack going north. You see no other drag marks.
Okay. I'll wait till I'll go back in, lock everything back up, and wait in the morning to let the others know, and then I'll see if someone went missing or not.
All right. Do you continue your trance?
Yes.
Okay. The next morning, who do you think wakes up first? Who?
Me.
You know, who's the morning person?
I-
Besides
I'd
you,
me.
I'd say me.
obviously.
I'd say me going to bed like the earliest, so
Yeah,
Finny sleeps
Alucard.
in. Finny sleeps in. 100%.
All right. So Alucard, you wake up first. An ironic morning person, perhaps.
And
oh no, I hate mornings. I just went to bed early, so obviously I woke up earlier.
I'm gonna introduce because Revor. Do you still do the whole 4 hours?
Well, that
The
is
rev-
the rules
the
is
trance?
written. So
Okay.
Trance is 4
Well,
hours.
I'm gonna be sitting at a table just thinking of what I saw and like what's going on when Alucard comes down,
Okay.
like deep in thought. And that's what my guy will do for now.
The morning sun is just slicing through the window below the clouds as you're able to wake up Alucard. The front room aglow in orange warmth.
Guess I'll just stroll down, go to Fosmic, sit down at the table, say morning.
Yeah, everything else is quiet. The innkeeper seems to have not even woken up yet. You'll just want to wait in silence.
I look at Alucard and go, I got a new lead.
I'll inquire as to what this lead is.
Last night, I don't know. Do you know a specific time? Do you want me to give him like a random ass time in the morning?
Oh, you don't even know the time.
Oh,
Unless you want to
well-
try and roll to see if you could perceive it in some way.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
It was sometime between when it became dark and when it became light again.
Yeah.
But
Say
you
early
So-
hours of the morning.
Yeah, early hours. I was revelry. You guys call it sleep in your world, but there was creatures, small in size, smaller than about Finny, maybe a little bit smaller, that were dragging a sack north.
Was there
And
anything
it's-
in the sack?
I don't know. I waited because I didn't want to go out by myself. But the origin of where they put down the sack started out front, and I'm waiting to see if someone's gone missing or not. Because if so, we found who's taking people from the town.
Okay, but you know they went north, and that's
Yes,
it.
there was
You-
more than one. There was.
Didn't think to follow them, or
I followed them till I was almost about out of town, and then I came back because I didn't want to go without you guys in case I got fucking jumped. So I came back to wait for everyone to wake up, and then we all head north to investigate that, or we go up the mountain.
It's possible,
Okay.
of course, that the tracks might still be there currently.
You wanna-
I
Yeah.
very much doubt it.
You want to go look? Since
I mean,
you're up,
yeah,
you
I
wanna
guess,
go-
I guess we should go and see if the tracks are still there.
Yeah.
But it's like snowy and winter, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. You didn't follow them. We might not be able to find where
went-
they went.
I know they went north to up the road. Like I followed them to go up the road and then stopped at the T-Bone Junction, which I would have probably seen that they go what, north off the road or left or right.
Well, no, you just saw them go north. So the
Oh.
dragging, because remember, there's one road that goes east and west, and it ends at the end, and then there's a road at the end of the east and west road that goes north and south. The very south end of that hits at the community center. The north
Yeah.
end goes all the way to the river, and the town itself, the buildings stop well before it gets to the river. If you
Yeah,
had traveled
so, yeah.
to just outside of where the buildings are, you would have seen the drag marks just still going north.
Yeah, so it just went north towards the river, which I would say.
Yep.
So
mean,
you want to go look?
We got two choices. We can either go and look now straight away, or we can give the others a kick, wake their ass up, and then maybe go and have a look.
You can wake their asses up. I'll go check. Like I'll go out where I was, just the end of town, see if they're still there, and if not, I'll come back. If you don't see me in a couple minutes after you wake them up, know that the tracks are still there.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna head to Finney's room and bang
Yeah.
the door and say, "Get up, you little shit."
What do you want? 5 more minutes.
Cosmic
Uh,
thinks he's found something. Get your ass out of bed.
4 more minutes then. Fine. I'll eventually crawl myself out of bed.
Guess I'll
Now,
head off to PR's
Oh.
now. Do the same thing.
Now I'll follow Shadow and be like, what kind of a lead was found? This better be good.
Oh.
I was having a good dream, you know.
I don't know. He's banging on about some sort of sack being dragged north. He said he saw a sack outside. Somebody was dragging it. Didn't really explain much.
Are the tracks still here?
As you leave, or as you step out the door and you look into the middle of the road for the tracks, it seems that at some point, or perhaps even at various points in the night, there were more dustings of snow, plus the wind whipping through town, moving other bits of snow. You can still see the deep, although very much washed out, drag marks as they go
Yeah.
north, but the individual footsteps that you saw before have been almost entirely covered in and are lost amongst the other footsteps in
Yeah.
the snow.
I'm
At
just
various
looking for the
times,
drag.
if you-
The drag.
If you didn't know what you were looking for, if you didn't know exactly what you were looking at, this could very easily be missed by anyone else. It's possible that these marks have been in the street every day and just no one noticed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking for the big drag mark. That's what I'm
That's
looking
basically
for.
the only one you can still see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for them where I stopped to see where they kept going north towards the river. I'm gonna wait there for them.
Okay. And everyone else wakes up. The innkeeper, waking up from the commotion, asks, "Are y'all heading out now? It's gonna make biscuits and gravy.
I'm sure we'll be back soon enough.
Yeah, we're just going to
Okay.
check something out
Just
quick.
investigating something real quick.
I'll get the biscuits started. Okay. All right, so you all head out with your warm weather clothing, presumably.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
I'm
right.
dressed up and ready to go.
Phoenix
Taking
goes out in
advantage-
shorts and shirt.
Take,
Yeah, of course.
taking advantage of the last little bit of light that you'll get before it becomes interrupted by the clouds overhead. You're able to, as the three of you go out, you see a street covered in snow, and you see a set of tracks going north. That was probably Vosmic's. You're not really sure what he's following. Anyone want to roll maybe a perception check or a survival check
I'll roll a
or an
perception.
investigation check?
I'll roll a perception check. Why not?
Okay.
Roll investigation.
Okay.
That was crap. It was an 8.
That's a 15 on investigation.
Okay. Piero,
You
would
know,
you like to roll anything?
I'll probably,
You can decline.
I'll go investigation as well. I mean, having a huge tracks mark through the center of the town, that's not exactly a good thing.
Well, let's see if you can determine if there is a drag mark first. Go ahead and make the roll.
23.
With a 23. Alright, Alucard, as you look out, you don't see any tracks. I mean, you see maybe those footsteps, those might have been from Perry. You're pretty sure that bunch there was when you guys went to go talk to the Targroms. Pretty sure those are from the horse and the cart that came in before that's parked out back. You don't really see you don't see what he's talking about. But with Finny and Piero, you're able to look, but in particular, you keeping in mind the sort of idea that there was some drag mark, maybe something about a sack, you do see one mark that goes straight north that started in the middle of the street, and it just started and just kept going. And that's the strange part, is that if something made it coming into town, it would still be there. And so it must have been something that was made going out of town. But what made something like that? It might have been something like a bag or something being dragged that was carried in, set down, and then dragged off. So that might be the track.
Well, yeah, I'll start following track, try and catch up to Vosmic if I can.
Alright. Yep, following it north, you were able to soon find Vosmic after just getting outside of the buildings proper, heading towards the river. This, of course, is the direction that some of you went with Perry just the night before, the evening or late afternoon before, and it looks almost identical to the way it did then, but except for some drag marks. Continuing past, I'm assuming you all want to follow the drag mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, out of curiosity, does any of this lead anywhere near the mayor's house at all?
It goes right past it.
I go, and now you know what I was talking about, drag marks. What I heard yesterday.
So if they point out, because obviously my perception check was crap. If they point out the marks to me, am I then able to see them, or am I still kind of just like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
once they, like, you look out and nothing seems unusual. It looks like it's just a rut-filled, step-filled, snow-covered street. There's nothing that stands out. But as they really look at the marks and investigate, like, okay, this one mark could only be caused by something being dragged that way. Dragged north. That's the only way that this mark could be made. Realistically. And from that, you're able to follow it. And once you see it, it's pretty clear and easy to see.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on what I'm aware of and what I'm not.
Gotcha.
Fucking.
And It
a la carte,
continues-
I think I'm crazy.
It continues to be dragged up to the river and then along the bank of the river heading west towards the mountain.
Hmm.
And it continues and continues, and you can see that it starts to go up along the side of the mountain and is dragged in a bit of what you might be able to recognize as it looks like a pre-made path, an area that's seems to be clear and level. That would probably be a walkway if it were not covered in snow. It is very cold. Again, it's still quite cold. The sun, where before was the bright oranges and reds, is now, or then faded into yellows, and is now back to a grayish blue as it's gone behind the clouds. The clouds getting thicker and darker as you get closer to the mountain. Heading up the
Okay, so-
mountain then?
So we've basically followed this drag mark to what looks to be a pathway that may lead up the mountain.
Correct. It seemed to have followed the river, and the river seems to actually flow out of a cave in the mountain. But
So-
the drag marks seem to be going up the mountain.
So this thing that we're investigating is basically heading up the mountain. We were planning to head up the mountain anyway. Do we want to go now, or are we ready? Have we got everything that we want for? Because I kind of get the feeling once we start heading in that direction,
Well-
we're not going to be coming back for a while.
Okay. Should we put a landmarker here to tell us this is the way? There's a way to go up the hill or mountain right here. Like put down a stick or something, or
Yeah, I reckon we should
Have to do a bit
probably.
more than a stick.
It's-
no, no, you know what I
fairly
mean.
apparent if you think of going towards the river and then towards the mountain. The pathway, it almost looks like it's. I mean, this is likely something that's been used for who knows how many years, and that there's a pathway that leads up from the river. It's probably a scenic walk, and it's probably a path that kind of circles around and maybe goes all the way to the top. I mean, it's fairly clear. You don't think you'll have any difficulty finding this path again, as long as you go to the
Okay.
river to the mountain. The opening is right to the left. You know, kind of the pathway starts a little bit to the left of the opening of the cave where the river flows out of.
Okay, so you guys just want to go back, eat, and then see what we need. And if we're good, just
Yeah,
come
so-
back.
Yeah, I say
I'm
we go
just-
back because the.
You guys mentioned we wanted to take some sort of wood up in
Yeah.
case we needed to light fire, so we might want to get that. Then we also like food. I think Piero had like some biscuits and some spice cake or something left over.
I think that was
What's-
eaten already.
Yeah, that's already.
What- Did you remove it from your inventory? Because it's still there.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'd say it's gone by now.
Well,
Also,
that's it. I'm just
the-
gonna say, what's the state of that if it is there, and if it's not, do we need to get any food from town before we leave or anything like that?
Yeah, also the mayor did say he was going to meet us there in the morning at the tavern. He might
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I don't
have
care about
something
it.
else for us. I'm just saying he might have something else for us, so we'll see what he wants.
Yeah, we'll just go back, eat up, and then stock up
Yeah.
on rations and stuff. Because I still have my rations.
Yeah, well, basically, Vosnik, the rations, because they're really good for long time storage and everything, the group has been getting actual fresh food whenever they can, because it's much cheaper than the rations.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, because we talked about it a bit before, and so you all supplemented the first day with, let's see, you had couple
cheese.
loaves of breads and a hunk of cheese, and then you had a bunch of beef sausages and some biscuits, and then some leftover spice cake. And
Yeah.
apparently the innkeeper is currently making some biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, that's not
that'll-
probably.
Biscuits and gravy, historically, especially the gravy, does not travel well, but the
Yeah.
biscuits might. So you could supplement your rations again after having a warm meal, and maybe
Yeah.
take the biscuits up the mountain.
Yeah, that's what I said. We'll just go back and plan, see what we need.
Yeah.
Okay. Is everyone good? Anyone need a bio break or anything?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I mean, unless you need.
My water jug is empty. If you just give me a moment, I'm gonna get some water and I'll be right back.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no, it's-
I'll have my headset still on. For the noise, I'm just gonna mute it. So talk amongst yourselves. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. But I'll be distracted a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just pure silence.
Yeah, just dead silence. No,
Yeah,
it's
so
the crickets.
I said talked amongst yourselves.
Talk, goddammit, talk.
Like, so,
Alright, Papa Pietro, get the fuck out of here. You're in the wrong city.
Just pops out his head.
Heavens to Murgatroyd!
So obviously, like I haven't played D&D before this, like, but I just get the feeling once we hit that mountain, we're probably not coming back to this town for quite a while.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna murder you. It's gonna be over.
Oh no.
Motherfucker!
To be fair,
Do your thing. Do your thing.
But
Why do I feel us mixing our trip and fall down the mountain and just die? Episode 2.
no, that's not gonna be me. That's gonna be Piero. That's gonna be fucking random.
nah, I
I mean,
mean,
so far, like historically, so far, Piero, you've been injured, and we've had to save your ass and drag you out of an underground cavern, and you've been sunk in snow. So
Not to
it's
mention,
not-
you fucking touched acid walls.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Though I did put myself to near death with the fucking frost mushroom things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, God,
Wait,
I gotta
no,
do
not
everything
to
myself around here. Crotch
Piero
one, man.
also fucking passed out and landed on the frost mushrooms.
Yeah, we had to pick them up.
Yeah.
yeah, I did do that. Yeah.
Yeah, Piero, you're used to this by this point, surely. All this cold.
Yeah, I should be
Fucking used to this.
So technically, if anyone has bad luck here, fuck the Piero.
Yeah, Piero's gonna be the first death.
Yeah,
Without doubt.
apparently I am a walking knowledge book. You know,
The
getting
one,
that- but
the one
somehow-
with the healing's gonna die first. How ironic.
How's the old lump on the neck, Piero?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that? Yeah.
The swelling has gone down significantly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Man
Yeah,
looked like he had a
it's-
fucking new head growing out of his neck.
Yeah, it's oddly itchy, but no matter how much it's just like a little bit of itch, not much, like an old wound where it's just a little itchy, but it's also a little bit numb. And as you scratch it, you can't feel anything. It's just hard skin.
Oh, man,
Hopefully
that's
it'll take care of himself soon.
That's infected, man.
Nah. If it was infected,
You got that.
something would have gone wrong by now. That's
Yeah.
just healing. That's healing.
You got that gonorrhea, syphilitis in that beer.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be anyone to run into a bear or something.
heading back to the end of the road, you arrive in to be able to smell the biscuits that are cooking someplace in the back. It should be, hopefully, it's an inviting scent. And sitting clearly impatient and kind of looking up and almost certainly murmuring to himself just a moment before, you see Mayor Rodriguez, much more significantly more composed. His hair is in the proper place. A bit of a comb over. The mayor sash is adjusted. Everything is much better. And he is waiting there. And as you come in, he goes, "Oh, good. I was afraid you had gone and you wouldn't be back."
Yeah.
No, just went to go investigate something. We're back for now.
Well,
Ah,
actually,
did you? What did we find?
Before anyone says anything, has anyone gone missing lately? Like today, like yesterday?
Since yes, I wouldn't know. I can ask.
You might want to, because I saw some stuff early this morning of something being drugged down the road with a sack, and I feel like someone was taken.
What? Who was dragging?
I
Who's
can't
doing the
tell you
dragging?
that. It's some little creatures.
Little creatures?
Yep. No bigger than Finny.
I see.
It wasn't me.
He looks
Wasn't me, I
very
didn't know.
troubled at this. and he's kind of looking down contemplatively, and he scratches his head, and he says, "Well, I will go do a census then." And he grabs his coat and gives a curt nod and heads out into the cold, presumably to go knock on every door in town to see how everyone is.
I look at you guys after he leaves. Something's gotten into him lately. All freshened up for some reason. Wonder why.
No, I mean that's
Guess
pretty.
we could. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, as a pretty small town,
I mean-
he probably wants to find something. At
I
least.
was gonna say the way I perceive it is this is the guy that supposedly self-proclaimed himself as mayor because nobody wanted the job and got his mum to make him a sash. He clearly takes pride in his job and his appearance, so he's probably just tarted himself up because he wants to look professional and look good.
But he didn't yesterday, but why all of a sudden?
I mean, he was rushing to us yesterday, though. So when
He
we
was
arrived,
very rushed
Yeah.
yesterday.
yeah, when we arrived, the innkeeper went to go get him, and he rushed straight to us to come and
Oh,
speak to
okay.
us.
Well,
Since he knew he had a date with the adventurers today, it's likely that he took extra effort to make sure he looked good.
Yeah, at first he probably wasn't expecting us, so.
yeah, all
At
right.
least
Well,
he said.
Well,
yeah, we'll
yes.
sit down and eat, and I'm just gonna think of stories I've heard growing up, if any of those relate to the creatures that
History
I
check,
saw. Well,
please.
yeah,
Or
okay.
nature check.
Either one. I'll just do
Whichever.
history.
Depending on what you roll, in terms
12.
of doing intelligence checks and knowledge checks, depending on what you roll, you'll get different answers. So, like
Okay.
if you do an Arcana check as opposed to a religion check, I'm going to give you things in terms of magic. But if you do a religion check, I'm going to give you some things in terms of religion.
Yeah, 12 for history check.
Okay. There are several stories. Every culture has stories of little creatures coming to kidnap problem children, and there's also beyond that. There's several cultures that have to do with animals going missing and things like that. The difference is, while we have the Jersey Devils and the Chupacabras,
Yeah.
this world actually has little things like that.
I get,
so
as I'm
there's lots and lots and lots of different things that could do this.
as we're sitting here, as I contemplate, I go, "Oh shit," out loud, and go,
Goblins. The goblins are probably the most common pests throughout the world. They're
"Yeah,
everywhere. If you lift up a rock, there's going to be at least 3 goblins under it.
but when I asked about it, you said they weren't. They were, but they weren't at the same time. They weren't
They
goblins.
didn't look like goblins, but at the same time, you didn't really get a good look at them
Yeah.
either. It might have been that they were goblins under cold weather clothing, maybe.
True, but I go, looking back on the stories I was told, we might have a problem. I'd say out loud to you guys.
Do goblins typically move around on all fours?
Yes.
Well, it's not unheard of,
Depending-
but usually no.
They-
'Cause
Sometimes
his
they do.
description of them was that there were some on all fours, some stood up on 2 legs. So
Yeah.
Well, they
The
were sort of
history
doing it
one.
interchangeably.
Yeah. The history one that you told me about creatures taking problem children is what sparked into me that might be who one of the children was taken, or it was just an
Maybe-
animal. I don't know.
Hey,
maybe it's one of the Targaryen boys.
But
we get a new lead, and one of the Targaryen boys is dead. Win-win.
I speak up loud, guys. Throughout history, I've been told stories. I'm wondering if one of those children, Talcum boys, was taken. Because there are stories told that there are small creatures that take probable children, away from their family.
Okay,
And that sack could have fit it looked big enough to fit his child in it, or kid.
Hold on, but they weren't really children, the Target boys. They were like teenagers, weren't they? So
Yeah, they look like to be young teens.
Yeah, but to them, that's still children to the fucking animals. Most creatures don't know the difference.
If they're human children, if they're human teenagers, surely they're still bigger than goblins.
Was that?
Well,
Would
the thing.
Would anyone else like to do a knowledge check to think if they know of any
I was
stories or anything
I was
about goblins?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'll do a knowledge check.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sort of like basically like basic intelligence or history or
I'll do a history.
something similar.
That is a 19. That's pretty good.
So
I do want to just quickly ask, the size of the sack that was seen, was that ever described of how big it was or not?
I did ask about that.
The sack looked to be about half the size of one of the creatures.
Okay, so not very big.
So not very big. Okay.
Probably wouldn't fit a child or
Yeah.
something in it.
alright, intelligence check at 11. Well,
I mean, it's a fairly large sack in comparison to the creature, but you know,
It was also described that there was no sort of screaming, no muffling, no mumbling from the
Yeah.
sack.
You never know; they could have killed him too.
Oh no, yeah, they could have. I'm just pointing that out.
But yeah, I got a 19
So-
on history, so.
with a 19, you've heard plenty of these stories too. Everyone's got stories, but ironically, of course, with the smaller cultures, they talk about big creatures, like big flying bears that'll snatch up.
Owlbears?
Yep.
You know,
I love owlbears. Owlbears are cool.
yeah, there's all kinds of different mythical kind of creatures, legendary creatures, but then of course there are also very real creatures. And goblins they're savages, they're pests, they're usually very uncivilized and annoying, but they're usually thieves. They rarely, in an odd sort of a way, they're fairly misunderstood. They rarely kind of incite violence. I mean, they'll kill, no doubt. And there are certainly unique exceptions that some will hunt, but most of the time, they're usually just scavengers. They tend to, they're in the dredge of society barely, but I mean, a bunch of goblins going around murdering children in the night, that's pretty grim. This would be an unusual bunch of goblins.
Hey
Alright.
man, goblins are fucking weird natures.
Yeah, fair point.
Well,
Soon enough,
very-
a big bowl of gravy with a couple of chunks of meat. Actually, quite a bit of meat. This one has quite a bit of meat in it. Gravy and meat and biscuits. A heaping pyramid of biscuits comes out and is laid out, as well as a pitcher of warm apple cider. And you have yourself a fair breakfast.
Where did?
Nice.
Oh, just thinking to myself out loud. I do it a lot.
Sure. And this, of course, this gravy, it's meaty, it's flavorful, and it has a pretty good amount of meat in it compared to the stew before. It's a bit of an odd contrast, where there were barely much more than gristle within the beef stew with no beef. And here, a sausage gravy with just handfuls of crumbled sausage. It's fantastic. You don't know if he's putting on the best because he knew it was for you guys, or I don't know, who knows. But you have that. So you have yourselves a meal. What would you like to do after your meal?
Does Perry come? Does Mare ever come back?
I mean, he could
Well,
be busy
presumably
for
he
a
will
while.
at some point, but he's knocking on every door in town. There's about 30 or 40 families.
Yeah, I'll just wait for these guys, see what they want to do.
I mean, I'm all for maybe setting off up that mountain. I like. We can speak to Perry when we get back, if we get back.
I reckon maybe what we could do, obviously start heading out, because he could be gone for quite a while yet. Start heading out towards the north of town and see where this trail leads. If we happen to pass him on the way, we can ask him what he's found out so far, but otherwise, yeah, I'd say just keep going down the trail for now, really.
If you
Yeah.
still want to get wood to take with us,
Yeah.
you might want to figure out where you're
Yeah,
going to
fair
get
point.
that from.
Well, in a town like this, there should be a woodworker, at least.
I'll ask the innkeeper if he knows if there's a stockpile of it, or if there's any spare that he could lend for a bit. I mean, we won't need too much, I suppose, but...
He says that he can spare some firewood from his supply.
Well, the real question is how do we make sure to keep it dry? I mean, we could, well, somebody could carry it around in the backpack.
I'll carry it in my backpack. It's just the fact that I'm gonna have to carry my two-handed sword with one hand on my shoulder.
Ooh.
So, who's carrying
Could
the
just all,
firewood?
could just all
How
split
much
up
firewood do
between
you
us.
want?
so-
How many pounds of firewood?
Oh,
Or how many kilos? Or what? How much firewood do you want?
All of the wood.
Shut up, Finny.
There's several cord. I don't suggest all of it.
Not all of it, and then some. Just start
All right,
tearing
begins
chunks out of the
chopping up
wall.
the tables. Yeah.
I know, we'll each take a little bit. I reckon maybe just split it between the four of us. Enough for a couple of fires, should we have to stay out there for a prolonged time.
Yeah, like at least 2 or 3 fires. Enough.
I mean, there'll be
Uh,
stuff out there, the only
that's-
issue is it will be all damp and
Well,
stuff like that. so-
well, then again, we could just get 2, and then on the way, if we start a fire and there's more wood, we can just throw it to the fire so it dries out.
That too.
For the next day.
I'm just thinking realistically, like 2 or 3 fires worth of wood is quite a bit of wood to carry
That
in
is
4
a
people
lot of
like
wood.
that.
That
Yeah, fair
is,
point, fair
but
point.
at the same time, if we get 1, we can always just keep refilling enough wood to keep 1 fire by drying out more.
I mean,
Having seen the mountain, do the trees grow, like, up the mountain somewhat, or does it obviously stop at some point?
So the entirety of the Rhombus Valley seems to have been converted into farmland.
Mm-hmm.
The mountain itself seems quite sparse. It does have. You're able to see a couple of trees, but not many. Most of it seems to have been either deforested or perhaps never had trees at all.
Well, that answers that question, then.
This valley seems to have been cleared out entirely, with the exception of orderly orchards. It seems to have been entirely converted into farmland, or something similar.
So there's a possibility we might not be able to get much more firewood when
It's
we
likely
actually
that
get
this
up there.
firewood. Yeah, it's likely that their firewood in town is sourced elsewhere and possibly imported.
Well,
I mean, like if we did want to cut down wood, as you said, it was turned into farmland, so many trees.
I don't. Like I said, I don't know, because fucking hill. It is a mountain, dude. Like fuck you gonna expect like, snowing constantly on it now.
Yeah, I'll add. You can't even see how big the mountain is, because as
Yeah.
you look up at it, you just see a low cloud level. And when I mean low, I mean like the fog
Is it-
starts like
Has-
50 or 60 feet up, and it
The
just
cloud-
becomes so dense that you can't see very far.
Since we've been here, has that fog ever like moved, or
No.
the clouds?
I mean, you can see roiling patterns within it as it moves back and forth, but there has been not a single break in the clouds for miles as far as you can see. You can see the very edge of the clouds way out towards the east beyond the town, but it is entirely overcast. And as you get closer to the mountain, the clouds go from a light gray to a dark gray to a really deep dark gray. Not quite to a full black, but dense clouds. and you can see the clouds almost like swirl around the mountain. And the more you closer look to, or the closer you look at the clouds that are towards the mountain, the more they swirl, and as if they're just revolving around it, like there's
Someone's
storm
hiding something.
churning
Really.
up there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's where it's
At this
swirling is the epicenter of what this started.
Quite possibly.
So at this point, like, moving away from the weather discussion for a sec, I'd say we chuck a couple of bits of wood in each of our bag, enough to make one fire, and then just set off, because we're gonna be on a snowy ass mountain. I mean, even if we get up this thing and we do need to stop, we're gonna have to look for some sort of caveage, or and then you've always got body heat. We can all snuggle to keep warm. So
Sure.
Well, he said that there's where the river is coming from. There's a cave there.
There is.
yeah, exactly.
there's a
So, like,
large
we're not
cave.
going to be camping on an open mountain. We're gonna be looking for some cover anyway. So
yeah.
and then we don't know what we're going to find in those caves. We could find sticks,
Yeah, that's
Grass
what I was
on the
saying.
hills,
That we can
different
always
kinds,
just find
so-
stuff and dry it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll
I
just
guess
take enough for one.
enough for one fire and then head out.
If
Yeah.
only, I'm just going to put this out there, because you don't really know where the path leads, how many paths there are. You
Yeah.
don't really know anything up on that particular mountain. You don't know if the cave goes anywhere. You don't know if there are other caves. You don't know if there's any useful things up there to know. You really don't know much of anything about the mountain. So, is there any other way? And this is just a hint from me, the DM. I'm not trying to push anybody in any direction, but you guys are relatively new, so I'm just going to put it out there. Is there any way that you could learn information about the mountain without having to survey the entire thing in potentially a blizzard?
You said
Oh.
it was a community hub thing where there was a bunch of books
Yeah.
and stuff, right?
Possibly.
Or we could
That could
ask-
potentially.
Or a map.
is there a woodworker in town?
There are several woodworkers.
We could always ask the woodworkers if they went up the hill, because they had to excavate it in farming land. We could ask them if they don't know of paths that go up there too, either.
Well, the town has been around for thousands of years. It's likely that some of these farms were probably built thousands of years before, and they've just been used continuously, possibly by the same family.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, they could have told, like, their ancestors could have told them, oh, if you want to see a nice view, go this way, and avoid this way if you don't want this. That's what I'm wondering.
It's likely that these people, because there is a path that's there, it's likely that the people of the town, at least some people, must frequently go up this mountain anyway.
So we can try. We can do either one. We can do both. Even we go to the community, start reading books or everything. We can always wait another day, and I could see if, when it comes to nighttime, if it happens again, whatever the goblins, creatures, whatever they were, come back.
I feel
So,
very
what do you
wasted quite a bit of time already, though. Following leads that didn't really go anywhere. I mean, not that we would have known anyways, but we could always check out the communities there, see if there's any books or anything on the mountain. There's possibly a journal entry or something that some adventurer might have written or something.
So I'm saying we can do either one.
There's a chance the mayor might know something, but he doesn't really seem like the person who would venture up on
Look,
the mountain
okay,
very often.
okay.
So.
He hasn't told us shit yet, so
Yeah.
Yeah, if you recall what he said about the mountain, he said that this time of year, normally it would just be covered in teenagers going up there, having
Mackin'.
fun and doing what teenagers do. Basically, yeah.
Okay. Wait. Where's that teenage couple that was in here earlier?
You don't know. They
They've
left
gone to
yesterday.
the mountain.
Okay. How many of us can read and write?
I presume all of us.
yeah, I was gonna
Well-
say, I presume.
Well, sometimes you have to.
Nobody's playing an ogre, right? So I think we're
There's
good.
probably different languages as well.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. We
I
can
can
go to
I
the
can read
community
and write
center.
common, halfling, and thieves can't.
I can read and write Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Gnomish.
I can read and write
Nerd.
Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Primordial.
Yeah, and I get just
Also
read
nerd.
Common and Dwarf.
Okay. So the main ones here, it's like me and Alucard literally have the most exotic one. Abyssal and Primordial, and a couple other ones.
Yeah, some real out of the way ones. Yeah.
So, what do why do you want to split up, and two of us go to community center, and then two of us go find other answers about the path, see if anyone can tell us.
Yeah.
Or-
I'm game for that.
Yeah.
If we're doing that, I'm going to the community center because my character's a bit of a bookie nerd type
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm
Okay.
gonna head there as well. I've got a pretty decent intelligence.
Okay, so the two beefcakes are together. The two most intimidating people are together, and the two low-level scrub with 8 strength.
I like how you determine like intimidating just by sheer size. I can literally boil people's fucking blood. Is that not intimidating?
On top of that,
But
my
most
intimidation modifier is +3, so you know.
I know, but most people they just be like, "Oh, just look at this guy. He looks like he doesn't eat for a living. He looks like a homeless guy."
To be fair, I would be kind of more terrified of the smaller people than the bigger ones.
Yeah, I'm an intimidating little small shit.
I'm just saying, the most two that look intimidating
That's
are going
Superman
together.
syndrome. Clearly, he's angry all the time.
Oh, my guy is always angry. Look at my backstory.
What is
Okay,
this?
so we've determined 2 people are going to the community center, 2 people are going to
Yeah,
the
it's,
work.
Me and Pero will go to the workplace. The woodworkers are find answers about this path, and then you
Just
guys go to
around
the
town,
community
yeah.
center.
Yeah, me and Alucard will head up to the community center, see what we can find.
No
there, if
stealing books.
anything. No promises. If there's a fancy one.
No, I
ho-ho.
point at Alucard. I point exactly at no stealing books.
Why would I steal books? I come from an educated family. I'm
And
the
then-
guy that if you were to damage a book, I'd be looking at you like, why did you do that, you twat?
You're forgetting that I'm the one
Hold on,
that likes
I point
gold
at
and
Penny.
expensive
No
shit.
stealing books.
Can't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad.
Sorry, I pointed at the wrong person. Just because I know you like to read books. Don't steal books. Only steal gold if you're gonna share with the group.
I'll look up if I make. If I share the gold with you somewhat, can I steal a book?
Yeah.
Done deal. Alright,
let's go.
I'm good to head off. Yeah. This is getting us nowhere otherwise. So.
Okay. So, one group heading off towards the community center. Where's the other group going?
We're
Yeah.
gonna go ask woodworker, like townsfolk, woodworkers mainly, or
So you're just gonna start knocking on doors. Excuse me, are you a woodworker? Do you have any time for questions?
yeah, fuck it. I don't. Yeah, I'll do it. I don't care.
I mean, you could before you head out, you could try and ask for some
Yeah, you know what?
directions to certain people
Yeah.
from the.
Yeah,
Us, the
I-
innkeeper. Do you know anyone specifically who's a woodworker in town?
He says, well, most of us have to know how to work with wood. We have to repair a lot of things. We do have 1 or 2 especially good carpenters.
Do you know where they are located?
Let's see here. He's just trying to think. If you're looking for the absolute best, are you looking for the best?
We're just asking. We're going to find them to ask questions about the pass on the mountain.
Well, I would say the best would probably you and Daniels. I think the Daniels family already left, though. Well, let me see here. I'm trying to remember who's here. Most people have left. Smart of them, really, I guess.
Yeah, I can understand fucking why.
Yeah. There was Kelly. Kelly might still be here.
Where's her? Where would Kelly be located?
He. Don't make that mistake around him. He would be upset. Kelly Magabunu, I think. I always forget how to pronounce his name. If you go out here, and he points towards the main road and towards the community center, he says it's 2 down on the left from the community center.
Okay, wait. Okay, thank you. right, let's go. Let's go, Piero.
Alright.
All right. And the other head towards the community center.
We follow behind pretty much.
Yes, you can see
yeah,
that
about
they're
30 feet behind. Yeah.
awkwardly following behind. So, heading out, the first group gets to the community center first. It seems to be pretty much closed up. You want to go in?
Yeah, if the door's not just straight up locked or anything like that, yeah.
It seems locked.
Can I
Somebody
knock on the
knock,
door?
see if
Yeah,
anyone's
see if anyone's in.
You knock on the door. Doesn't seem to be a response.
Is there any windows to the building? Can I peer in and see if there's anyone around? Or any lights or anything inside?
Through the windows, you don't see any light. You don't see any people.
We're gonna
Well,
have to go find that fucking mayor to get a key, aren't we?
I could lockpick. I could always pick the lock.
Yeah, you could try. You could try. Yeah, why not?
It's the worst that could happen. It's for knowledge.
I'm not against it. So
Yeah,
And
I'll try and
Seeing it, I'm not even gonna say anything either.
I'll try and pick the lock for the front door.
Okay, go ahead and make a lockpick check. For this, I'm assuming
would
you
that
have
be?
proficiency in lockpicks.
I've got thieves' tools. which I'm
Wait, what are you? Do you have
presuming is-
proficiency in thieves' tools?
Yeah, proficiency in thieves' tools.
Okay, so
Which I
assuming
think
you still
is
have the thieves'
lockpicks?
tools. Hmm. Yeah,
I-
the thieves' tools includes lockpicks. I'm just asking if you
Mm.
have the proficiency with them and the tools. If you do, then you get to roll plus your dexterity plus your proficiency. Proficiency being a +2, and your
yeah.
dexterity being whatever your dexterity
Also
modifier
plus 2, so. Right, so dex plus 2 on top of that is 18.
18 is pretty good. You very easily unlock the door.
Hey. Open sesame. I'm gonna head inside, not wanting to really be in the cold much longer. It's not gonna be much warmer in there, but it's better, I guess.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
it's-
following.
Basically not warm at all. You make your way into the dark hall,
I will
tracking in a little bit of snow.
I will behind me just lock the door again from the inside if it's got a lock on the inside.
It does. Yeah, you can
I'll
lock the door.
I'll
In
lock
the
the
sense
door
that
again. Yeah.
It's got, like a keyhole on the other side. And having already picked it, this is a pretty simple lock. You can just click, lock it again. No problem.
Yeah, I'll relock it just in case someone comes by and it's like, oh, unlocked door. That's not where that was before. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll lock it.
Alright. In you stand in this sort of meeting hall. Anything in particular you're looking for?
Books.
Yeah. Anything
I mean,
on anything on the area that we're in?
It's- Well, I was gonna say, is there like a main desk, like a reception desk, or anything like that in the area we're in?
Nothing, no, not a reception desk. It seems to just be kind of a large building. And as you look a little bit further in, you're able to find a secondary room that has shelves of books. And as you look through them, a lot of them are about farming, some bird watching stuff, some, trades books for the most part. There are a couple of, I guess you would call them sort of fanciful story books. Some cooking books. A lot of them seem to be relatively utilitarian.
Is there when we're looking around, can we perceive or see anything that might give us an idea of what section of the building to look in? Is there like any computer that we can access to look for that, or is there like not literally a
No,
computer, but like
there's-
do they have like a registry type thing, or
No,
is there
there's
anything on the shelves of the
no.
books? Like,
No, there's like 2 bookshelves, and that's it.
okay, that's fine. Let's just go and have a look at them.
There's a dusty old box computer in the corner running Windows 98.
Yeah, there's like 2 bookshelves. In a couple of minutes, you can look at every single title. You
Okay,
don't
sweet.
you don't see anything that seems to be related to the geography of the town.
Well, That was pointless, I suppose.
I mean, he said it's a big building. There's got to be something in here.
Yeah, well, I'll keep looking
Maybe
around
look around
and
the rest
see.
of the building.
Yeah, see what else is around.
Okay. Looking into one of the other side rooms, you find a whole bunch of components for tables. So, legs and tops, and they seem to be all disassembled and stored in here. Likely this could be brought out and put together to make a whole bunch of tables into the main big room.
Okay. Is there any other side rooms or anything of note at all?
There are, continuing into the next side room, this seems to be empty. Continuing into the next side room, you find a lot of boxes, like crates, put together, and they are marked. And as you look at them, they seem to be decorations, perhaps. You peek one open, it's got flags in it, and you can see some ornaments and things, and they seem to be marked for the different sort of seasonal celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
There are no more side rooms.
Yeah, I'm not really sure there's much use in here then, I suppose.
It's kind of a mood killer, isn't it? It's like, I was hoping there'd be
It's good.
something of worth, something that would pique interest, but it just sounds
Good
like this
idea,
is
but yeah.
a storage room, basically.
Mm.
They've just chucked all their shit in here.
Well, basically, yeah, this seems to be sort of like a town hall. It's just a large, empty building that can be utilized for multiple things. And you imagine when school is in, they bring out a couple of the tables, and they have school on it. And then if they have big celebrations, they bring out all the tables to eat at. Or if they're having a dance, they put all the tables away. And it's just like an auditorium, or rather like a gym. It's just a big room.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just a common building, basically. About the size of a large barn.
Okay. You said the crates are just all filled with like decorations and stuff like that?
It seems to be, yeah. So there's some holiday decorations. There's flags of white with blue sort of snowflakes on them. It's likely that they had these up at some point. And then there are some that seem to have sort of fire-based decorations that are for the different celebrations and seasons.
And just to clarify, when we looked over the books, there wasn't a single book at all that even remotely piqued interest in any way, that mentioned anything about the surrounding areas. It was all just useless.
Well, you didn't read them, but looking at the titles, it seemed that most of them were like DIY how-to books, like akin to an idiot's guide to such and such library. It's fairly rudimentary and simple in some respects. So those were likely there's lots of copies of some of the books. Those are likely the school books, and it's as you're looking through, maybe other townsfolk have other things, but this seems to be just fairly basic reading. Like if you wanted to learn a hobby, this would be a good place to look. There's knitting patterns, there's recipes, there's basics of carpentry, there's bird watching, there's stuff like that. But this is some pretty boring public library fare.
It strikes me as odd that in a town that is completely based around farming, that there's nothing to do with ecological surveys of land or anything like that. Just like,
well, there was a lot about farming, and inside of there it might give more details of land. It might go over geology, and in fact there's there's one about rock collecting, but there's nothing that says like land survey of the
of course.
Rhombus Valley. There's no maps. You find nothing topographical. there's it just doesn't seem to be. It's entirely possible that this town is so boring that no one, including the residents, have ever thought to write about it.
My thought is that we grab the books that specifically have titles about farming or like rock collection, like you said, and then just perhaps do a quick skim through to see if we can see anything. Just brief over each page, just to see if we can see anything that might be of note or
Yeah,
helpful
or if
in
there's
any way.
like a table of contents or something, maybe.
I mean, rather than just come here and then leave, we might as well spend some time here and at least maybe have a look. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, you all peruse the farming curriculum. The other two, you're heading off towards Kelly's house. There's the community center. There's your 1 house, and there's your 2 house. I think that's it.
Alright, I'll go up and ask for him.
All right. You go up and knock on the door. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Dunk, 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 dunk. You hear muffled on the other side. God damn it, Perry! I told you. And he opens the door. Oh. Oh.
Kelly?
Ready for you.
Kelly?
Yes.
I want to ask
Have
you
we
some
met?
questions. No, I'm an adventurer looking for the disappearance of people, and I want to ask you
Oh.
about the pathway leading from the river that goes up the hill.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know if you know much about it or not. I clicked the wrong thing.
I mean, I guess I know as much as most folk. It goes up the mountain. I don't know. I haven't been up there in years.
Hold on. This is Piero.
Yeah.
You have any questions for him besides what I just asked?
Well, I mean, do you by any
So-
chance? Well,
Have there been disappearances in the town? Perry was knocking on my door earlier, making sure everything was fine and everybody was here. How many people have gone?
Okay. It's more or less. We were sent here to find a druid that was gone missing. That was here. And yesterday, I'm not trying to start stuff, but I saw a sack being drugged by stuff. But and that's what I'm investigating. Is I didn't know if someone was taken by them or not.
No, I mean I've heard some of the pets and a lot of the animals have gone, but I assume at least most of them probably got ate by wild animals or got stuck in the snow and froze to death. When fall finally comes, we'll find most of them. But no, I wasn't aware anybody had gone missing. We got people leaving town, but
Yeah. No, we were thinking we were gonna see if you knew anything about the trail, and then we were gonna meet back up with our 2 buddies that should be at the community center. I don't know if it's
did
closed or
Perry
not.
tell you I'd know about the trail? Because
No,
That's
I just figured.
Perry would say,
No.
I guess.
I just figured because you're a woodworker and they say that you were the best that I figured you went up there to get wood or something.
He has a little bit of pride. It's like, well, yeah, I am a pretty good woodworker, but woodworking and hiking don't usually go too hand in hand.
No, but sometimes you could look at a tree and be like, "That's a good tree for like building something like." That. I just didn't know if you did that, or you were a teenager yourself. You went up the trail ages ago, so just didn't know if you
Yeah.
remembered anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes up the mountain. There's a couple of different trails. Some of them, I don't know, it changes from season to season sometimes. And, I had a friend who was up there on one of the paths, and it gave out from underneath him. Fell halfway down the mountain. He still has a limp to this day. Luckily, he survived. But no, I mean, most of the time when I went up the mountain a couple of times. Me and the missus spent a couple of summer evenings in the cavern with the river. That was usually my
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. You go up the mountain to bang. I get it. And have a romantic night. I get it.
He was having a fun conversation a moment before, but now he's like crude. But
Like, Like I was just trying to drift away. Look, I'm sorry to bother you, man. Like I just didn't know if you had the information. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go meet up with my friends. You have a nice day, sir. Walk away.
Yeah. And he closes the door.
You always find a way. You always find a way.
Hey man, I didn't want to hear a story about banging his missus on the hill.
It's actually
I'm not
amazing. Even
sorry.
the most simplistic of conversations, you find a way.
You know what your screw up there was? He mentioned that they specifically hung out in the cave where the water was. You could have asked about that, you know.
Eh.
Could have asked
But-
if
but-
they knew of
Lay
anyone.
down, but-
No, Vosmic doesn't really give a fuck about fornicating. He's just like, dude, I don't give a shit about your stories. Like, come on. It's like that's all everyone talks about in the tavern. Oh, dude, I banged this chick. It's like, dude, shut up.
Alright, so, what do you guys want to do now that you've had yet another door closed?
Maybe one of the intellectual ones should have gone with him.
Yeah, okay.
Oh well.
It's either the intellectual one or the one that almost dies every time. Piero,
Just sort of open up one of the doors and
just throw. Someone goes to attack me, just throw Piero in front of me. Well,
What do you do now?
I guess I'll just go wait for the other two. Actually, no, I'll go to the community center and see if they're there still.
Kara, you want to go with?
Or is
sorry?
Piero still staring at the door?
Yeah,
That was
Kara,
so
do you want to go with Vosmic towards the community center?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could probably go more door to door, but
Alright.
they all seem to be in the same boat of.
You get to the community center, and you can see where the snow has been disrupted from the door opening. You can see the footsteps going up and going in, but the room is dark within, and the door is locked.
I just give a big ass sigh and go, fucking Finny.
Well, I mean, since we didn't know that they, Finny did something to the door, you know what? I want to break down the door.
Oh, fucking.
I walk away. I just like back up and go, what the fuck?
Okay.
One thing of like me making people hate me for kicking down doors. What the fuck?
I was kind enough to relock it even.
You go from skipping knocking and go directly to smashing. Yeah, go ahead and roll to knock down the door, I guess.
I just turn
Fucking
around and
hell.
put my hand on my head, like, God damn it.
Doing nothing to stop him.
Fuck, I'm not-
Okay. Well, it's a +2, so it would be a strength checks, and it's a 9.
Okay.
Wow.
With a 9, you can your boot smashes on the door. It doesn't crack open. But to Fanny and Alucard, as you are searching these shelves and these books and skimming through, you hear a loud clatter. It sounded like someone's trying to kick in the door.
I just say,
Oh.
God, why,
I'll
Piero,
I'll
why?
just shriek hello, and if I'm holding a book or a pile of books, I'll just drop them on the ground and be like, oh, fuck! The fuck was that?
I'm gonna head
Uh.
towards that sound and go and find out what it is.
Okay, when you enter
God
into
damn
the
it.
hall, you can see through the windows very clearly. Vosnick covering his face, looking away, and Piero kicking in the door, or attempting to kick in the door.
Something just face palming.
I'm just gonna say, Pierre, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, what the fuck are you doing in there? Why is the door locked?
Because we didn't want something creeping in behind us. What, you just go around kicking doors down when they don't open? Is that what you do? You could have just shouted for us.
They didn't know what was in there.
I
God
just
damn it.
go,
There are books, Pierre. There are books and tables.
what's gonna pop out? A fucking mouse with a +10 dagger of wounding? I say out loud as he's booting the door in.
Fucking.
So
I
do you
guess I
wanna
should've-
continue to kick in the door, Piero?
I'd locked this damn door already. God damn it.
Yeah, I'll unlock the door.
Alright, you easily unlock it again.
Did our perusing of books have any fruits of labor, as they say?
You found the sex ed manual, maybe Vosnick.
Hell yeah. Finney's all about that. Does it have pictures? Is it a pop-up book?
Yeah, they're crudely drawn, but yes, it has some instructions and some, stuff. But anyway,
Hell yeah, Finny
but
puts it in his bag.
you found one that's talking about the proper way to prepare fruit trees in an orchard, because it's important to prune them in such a way and cut off the certain amounts. You don't want too much growth. You want to only have as many leaves as necessary for it to grow, and all of the other nutrients will go into the fruit, and you get better fruit. And it's basically just going over proper maintenance of an orchard.
Is anyone gonna take that?
Hmm?
Is anyone taking that book?
The sex ed book? No, it's all yours.
Nah, fuck that book. I'm gonna burn that fucking thing.
Nah, fuck you.
No,
I
the
already told you I
orchard
put it
one.
in my bag. I already told
The
you I put it in
orchard
my bag.
one.
I'm adding it to my inventory right now.
We are
No
not
one-
burning any books. We're not burning any books and perhaps
No,
accidentally
no.
burning down the fucking building. In
No,
the same
no,
time.
is anyone taking that orchard book? Is anyone gonna take that orchard book?
No.
I'm gonna put it in my bag.
You're gonna steal the only book on orchards from a farming community. From the
No.
school.
I was
of
just
a
gonna look
farming
at it. I was just gonna look at it and read it.
Okay.
As everyone else fucking sits
Uh-huh.
here and looks at everything else.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
check
look-
out the orchard book. Okay, got it. There's different books on seasonal plants. There's different books on proper preparation of soils. There's books on pests and proper pesticides. There's farming books. In terms of anything of being of interest, what are you looking for?
Just anything that would give us any, I don't know, any sort of information as to the surrounding land or the mountains, or if there's anything to do with anything like that. We're not
Absolutely
specifically
nothing.
right.
Yeah,
So
it seems that these books are not local, that they were brought in from elsewhere, and they're just describing farming of different areas and different types of soil. And it seems that the pages that apply most to the region are the most used, and there are notations written in, and various points underlined. But it seems that these books are just generic farming books and have nothing to do with the community.
okay. I mean, at this point or at this juncture, every single venture we've taken so far has proved completely fucking pointless. I'm all for just heading towards this goddamn mountain.
Yeah,
this point.
yeah. I just put the book back and go. I'm fucking done with this place.
I'm just tired of looking for nothing, basically.
Hey, Finny scored a perfectly fine book.
I'm tired of
Finny's
listening to
up one on
everyone's
this
fucking
one.
everyone's fucking sex stories on the fucking mountain. Let's just go fucking explore this goddamn mountain.
I've got a manual
See why
of
everyone-
pictures.
See why everyone just likes to go up here and bang on this fucking mountain. That's clearly
Is it
fucking it.
Fosmic sounding very frustrated? Is it because you have not been able to bang on the mountain yet?
No, it's the fact that every time I'm at an inn, that's what all the stories are about.
I'm gonna hold out the sex ed manual to Vosmic. Here, buddy, do you need this?
You better get that fucking thing away from me before I set you on fire. And that book.
But it has pictures.
I don't care. It's gonna get burned if you keep putting it in the face. Or
As
pointing.
you stomp out in frustration, does anyone lock the door behind you?
Yeah, I'll lock the door again.
Yeah, the half-broken door.
Yes,
No.
you lock the door behind you. And you all continue. Do you just want to head straight up the mountain as much as you can? Do you head back to the path and then up the mountain, or just head straight towards the mountain? Because the mountain's
I'd say we take-
behind the town. You can get there from anywhere, basically.
I mean, if we're going that way, I'd say we take the path. Stick to the path
Yeah.
if possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and try to find the mayor.
Okay.
And
While marching north on the road, you in fact do find the mayor
Oh,
as
nice.
he's speed walking back west from the sort of long road, and he sees you all and he waves his hand and he says, "Adventurers, adventurers! I have asked the entire town. No one is missing." And he just smiles happily because none of his
And-
people are missing or dead.
Well, that is good. That is always good.
Good, I guess. We're gonna. Yeah. I just look over at Finny because I know he still has that fucking book.
You shut up.
Right.
I
Alrighty.
don't know what you're
Saying
talking
anything
about.
to the mayor as you just continue to walk by.
I'll quickly ask him as well. Actually, if him or anyone has noticed anything strange lately, if the mayor even brought that up to anyone at all.
Well, it's rather cold.
Anything
just like
more
my goddamn
particular about the
soul.
strange creatures at night? Or does no one know about that?
I was not aware of the creatures at night. I will ask. I will ask everyone about the creatures at night. I will
Oh
ask.
no! Oh
He
no!
starts to head towards the.
We should
Alright,
keep doing this. Keep doing
Go.
this.
Go. Now that he's occupied, let's fucking hurry and go.
No, he's busy. He's busy. Run.
He's going to go, having completed the census of the town. He is now going to survey them of strange creatures.
Let's go.
I would just,
What are we
I would just like
doing?
to make. I would just like to make a pact that, like, for the majority or the rest of this story, anytime we bump into that guy, we now need to send him off to do something involving every house in the town.
Yeah. Like, we go. Oh, when he comes back, if we come back. Oh, has there any pets been missing lately? Oh, has there any food been stolen from around?
Oh no.
Animal canned corn.
Alright.
So,
Poor man.
You head north on the path out of town. You reach the half-frozen river, walk along the river towards the mountain as more and more of it becomes frozen over top, and you find yourself at the base of this path once again, and begin marching up the mountain of the Rhombus Valley. And we will come back to that next week.